AWSI 2025, I put up a poll asking if you wanted me to make the video again. You did, so here I am. We'll see if there's some new stuff. I did see one cool thing already, which I hadn't seen before. Potentially, we could get some wind at 4 to 5 this evening. So if the brands are still around, maybe I can demo some stuff then. If not, we'll just do the interviews for sure. If you guys want to donate with the super thanks on this video this year, I will go ahead and donate that money to LA fire victims that might still be in need. A lot of the LA foilers lost all their gear in the fire, and a few brands like stepped up and they offered discounts or packages, you know, for free, even some of them. So I don't know them all, so I hate to even say any of them. Super thanks to all those brands that stepped up and you're giving back to the foil community. And we'll probably try and spend a little extra time on the ones that we know for sure. Get on with the video. All right, I'm here with Nigel from Waka. This is one of those brands I was telling you about that actually has something I haven't seen before. What you got for us here?
All right, so this is the world's first folding board. It's an all carbon board, and as you can see, it folds in half. It's super light, and you just open it just like that.
That's so cool.
So
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's just got 3 bolts on it. It takes about 30 seconds to put together, and then you can jump on the water. What's cool about it is it comes with like a travel bag. This is the thing that comes with it. So every board comes with an easy little bag that you can just throw over your shoulder. If you're traveling overseas, you can just put this in. It's double padded. And you can add, you know, your wings and foils. Keep it under 50 pounds and you can just check it in at the airport. If you're a boatie or a yachty, this is awesome. This totally solves your stowage problems on the boats. Super portable. We've got our first container of our boards arriving in about a week at some retailers, select retailers. Waka.surf is where you can find out more about it, and we'd love to get you on one of our boards.
Yeah, that's awesome. It looks so cool. You're keeping the weight pretty light right now. It's like around 5 kilos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this one is a 66-liter board. It's just over 5 kilos. Our largest board, which is a 7-foot board, it's 111 liters. It's just on about 7 kilos. So we've kept them really light.
But stiff because they're all carbon.
They're super stiff, yeah. Everybody who's ridden one, you know, the first thing we ask is, do you feel like you're in a folding or sectional board? And the answer is always no. And part of the reason is from an architecture stuff, we have a double bulkhead here, which makes it super stiff when it's bolted together.
It's a great shape for like parawing or downwinding, yeah, and even winging. And this one has no straps, but you're going to be coming out with a strapped version.
We decided to come to market with a mid-length board. This is sort of where a lot of people are progressing. If you're not jumping, maybe you've gone from winging, maybe you want to try parawinging or paddling or foil assist. Also, you know, when you're traveling, you don't even know what the weather conditions are like. So sometimes it's nice to go with a slightly more literage and a good versatile all-around board.
Yeah, so something that can get up on foil easily, which I can just, looking at it, it's obviously going to be really easy to get on foil.
This thing just slides straight up, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's an awesome product for someone that is maybe like a pilot or a yachty, and they have an inflatable board, but they want something that's actually going to feel like a real board.
This is a high performance board. Yeah, you wouldn't know that this is. You would think this is a high performance mid-length board.
No, I would totally ride it. The shape looks great. I would ride it in big waves, like honestly.
Sure.
But great, thanks for the info.
Oh, no, and you're most welcome.
Hopefully we get to try it later. It's actually windy now.
I think we're going to be good today. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right.
The wind is light, but some people are out riding already better than last year. Got our drone pilot over here. Might be Gwen over there going out on the new AFS wing, it looks like. Guys, I don't wanna be a stalker, but like look over there. Look who's over there. Can't really tell from that angle, but I think it's Robbie. It's like 12:30. I've done one interview. I've been walking up and down the place. No one seems to really want to talk. This might be the shortest video of all time. I might just go ride because it's pretty windy now. Oh, look at this guy.
Hey! How you live without me? What are these? Are these kites or wings? Do they work?
I think everything's Parawings now.
Do they have motors on them?
All right, I'm here at Flow Kiteboarding with Philippe. You got some really nice wings. I'd love to hear about them, and I'd love to hear about your Parawing, because I know you have a paragliding background. Is that right?
Yeah, our main company, it's all about paragliding, but we also have a division inside our company that makes kite surfing gear, like kite surfing, wing foils, and Parawings. We're based in Australia, and since last year, in December last year, that's when we kind of released our first Parawing, the D-Wing. Just went ballistic. There was a lot of interest, a lot of hype. Now we're about to release the D-Wing V2, which is our new version of our Parawing.
So what can we look for in that? Are we looking at like more stability, better upwind, like what kind of things?
Yeah, so we worked a lot on materials. So we were using kind of different materials, so kind of less volume when you're trying to stow, which is good. So, and it's a lighter fabric in the air, so it's more reactive, it's more fun to fly. And it's also more stable. Like when you depower it, the whole thing, it's more stable. It's giving us a bigger range.
Okay, yeah. One thing I've been interested in is almost incorporate like a chicken loop type of thing that you can depower the Parawing very quickly and easily.
Right.
You know, I know some guys are doing some like sliding rings that are kind of
right. Yeah.
You know, so I think there's so much room. You know, coming from a kite background, there's so much room to improve.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about these wings? These wings look really nice. What's the story on these guys?
So this is our latest version. We're using this special Dynamo composite like leading edge, which gives a really strong and stiff frame. Works really well when you kind of overpowered. We have only one option, which is the boom, which is we thought it's a way better system rather than having two handles.
That's all you need now. Come on,
Yeah.
like let's be real.
That's right. We don't need two handles. One long boom. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So this is our canopy. It's working really well. It's more like an all-round kind of version. We only have one size. It works well in waves. Works well in flat water for tricks.
How's the durability and stretch, like the elongation prevention? Any?
So we use very well-known materials. So this is the Teijin D2, which is very long-lasting. Very minimum stretch in the canopy. So it keeps that canopy taut when you're pumping, and giving that nice feeling even after a couple seasons.
Awesome. Well, this guy's got on the mic. He's talking us out. But yeah, I'd love to try them. They look really good. I'm always in the market for wings because I go through a lot. So
yeah, nice one. So you can look us up at flowparagliders.com.au or flowkiteboarding.com.au.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here with the one and only Josh Koo, straight off the premiere of The Straight Path last night, which was an awesome film. He's going to talk to us about Code a little bit and what's new for Code this year.
Yeah, so we're excited to be at the 2025 AWSI. It's such a cool event. This year we got a little bit of wind, and we're excited to show off a lot of new products. We've been working on this new X series, which I'm sure a lot of people might have seen. Last year it was first kind of previewed here. We had our first prototype, but we've been through probably nearly about 10 versions of it until we landed on the one that we like. And we're starting off with an 810 size, but we're building around that size. So we're going to have them probably a little bit later towards the end of the year, but the 810 is going to be available in the next week or so to the public. Another exciting product is the integrated foil drive mast. There's definitely a bit of hype around that because I think myself working for Foil Drive and James Casey being an ambassador, we were able to easily R&D and figure out what the hell we like. We've landed on a 17 centimeter pod and an 11 centimeter pod. Pretty aggressive move in terms of like the height. I think a lot of people are scared about it being too close to the board, but I think as you progress through your foil driving, you really want that feel of the pod not even being there. So we've gone far on that side of the spectrum, and I can guarantee probably next year people are going to follow. Another exciting product that we're showcasing is the Ali mast, the aluminium mast. It's going to be an easier buy-in to our brand, and to be honest, it's an amazing mast. I've used it. We've got a 75 centimeter and an 80 centimeter, and it's rock solid.
Okay.
It's epic. Like, the guy who's going to buy that, like the beginner, they won't even know what a good mast is, but that is a bloody good mast for the price point.
Honestly, for the same stiffness, it's about the same weight. Sometimes you can get a thinner mast with carbon. That's what I see to be I do notice that difference in drag when you go to the carbon tapered mast and you're riding high on the foil, right?
Totally.
But for 99% of people, they could probably ride the aluminum.
And they won't know.
Yeah, just mow the lawn and you'd be happy, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that 810. Do you have one over there?
We got one right here. So with the 810 line as well, with the X line, sorry, we're going to start doing this new covers, which is something different from our grey.
Okay.
It's like a lower aspect foil, but in saying that, it's still not that low. It's about an 8.3 aspect ratio.
Oh, perfect.
We really wanted a foil, so if you've got a Spectrum, you've got the R, which is for glide, the S, which is like the all-round, and then now we've got the X, which is made for, honestly, ripping. Like,
Dude.
It's going to give you the most radical kind of maneuvers that you can do. It rolls amazing. The reason why we created this is because we feel like the market has been on the foil, maybe now the average person for a year or two, you know, they can pump around now, and then this foil is for people that are really gearing towards just elevating their foiling in terms of performance.
Dude, I know you guys are like more sup and prone and stuff, but that could be a killer surf freestyle winging foil.
Totally. What this foil does amazing is that you can pretty much get the whole foil out, re-engage it, and it won't vent at all.
Wow.
So, you know, we're taking off in steeper sections. We're hitting sections of like the wave or on the downwind if you're using it for a downwind. We're just getting in more critical sections that you couldn't before.
Well, and that's what I want to see too with downwind. I kind of made a joke, and then Mick, what's his damn name? Mick, right.
Waka,
yeah.
Walker Hendricks, yeah.
But he started to do like some 360s on the downwind and stuff. And like, let's start throwing some like, you know, tricks while you're doing the downwind,
Totally.
right? And that's the kind of foil you would need for it. Right?
So this is actually we've been riding all these X foils whilst here in Hood River. And because you don't need as much glide with these tight bumps, this is the foil that we're all gravitating towards.
Interesting.
Because we can just rip so hard on it. And I think what's really nice too is that this X also complements foil driving really well. It has like a really nice gradual lift. It's just like, yeah, it's an epic foil. And this is the one that I've been riding.
Dude, I want to try it because I'm more of a mid aspect kind of guy myself. So I actually really want to try it. To me, like, yeah, it's cool if you guys want to like cross the valley straight, like that's really cool. And you know, maybe you need a little extra glide. Those bumps were pretty big. I don't think you needed extra glide on those. But like I want to rip bottom turns. Like I want to I want to feel that G force, you know, and that's kind of what that foil is. Looks awesome. And just wanted to thank you guys for giving a discount to the LA fire victims. I know some guys were stoked that they could get a new code set up at a discount with their insurance money. So that was just so awesome of you guys, and we appreciate you so much.
Yeah, in our code, we really want to focus on communities. We love supporting local events, and we just we love meeting all these foilers and continuing to grow the sport.
Awesome. Yeah, your event last night was great too. I rushed in I was watching a movie in Beaverton. I saw Katie or Caitlin. She posted something. I said, oh, I walked out of the movie and I came here instead. So anyway, thanks, man.
Awesome.
All right, I'm here with Billy from the Foil Surf Race League. Is that right?
That's right.
You guys are holding an event this year, huh?
Yeah, we're doing a head-to-head 1v1 race. Every brand, it's an entrance here at AWSI gets to enter one rider, and we're going to do a head-to-head race and see who's the fastest.
Oh, that's so cool. And I guess that's how it works right here.
Yep. That's
I didn't realize it was head-to-head. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it gets 2 riders at a time, one being pulled up by a jet ski at the same time, and then they whip in and let go and pump around a buoy and then across the finish line. So it's going to be tight, high-speed action.
Awesome! Can't wait to see it. All right, and you guys hold other events around the country, right?
Yep, we're looking to do 4 for 2026, and we have Cocoa Beach, Atlanta, and we're kind of seeking a West Coast partner right now, and then maybe a Northeast or Pensacola event.
Very cool. Well, good talking to you.
You too. Thanks for having us.
All right, I'm here with Cabrinha. They have a ton of new stuff this year, apparently. And I think John wants to talk about the foils first.
Yeah, we'll be launching this in the next couple weeks, maybe a month or so. This is the new Union foil from Cabrinha. When we went to go redesign our foil range, we were looking on what's the best in the market, what we really liked, and we noticed a bit of a trend on this design, kind of this saddle-looking shape. A lot of brands are doing it. Really, Mike Zychek, Mike's Lab Foils, started this a long time ago. He designed it, and it's an ideal system, and everyone's using it for a reason. We asked Mike, hey, could we partner up on licensing this connection design from him? And he agreed to do that, which we were really excited about and really proud to be able to work with a guy like that. We make the range super easy. We're launching the foil with just 3 fronts and 3 back options. The Prestige line, which is our high aspect line. Connection-wise, it couldn't be any simpler. 1 screw to mount the stabilizer, and then 2 screws, M8s for the system. All M8 screws, so board M8s, foil M8, so you just need 1 tool for everything. And again, just 2 screws right in. Incredibly stiff, incredibly stable, ridiculously efficient. I mean, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's what I notice about it. I can tell just by looking at it, it's going to be glidey through the water. You have nothing on the stab, right? So this is just one piece from the stab back, from the fuse back. The advantage there is it's going to glide and it's going to be fast, is my guess too, right?
Absolutely, and it just, to us, it didn't make a lot of sense to have a ton of screws and bolts sticking out. When you're designing foil to be ultimately efficient, you want to remove all points of drag. There's no point of having a thin mass and spending all this money on all this stuff if it's going to be high drag. So we removed everything we could, made it as simple as we could, and yeah, really, really happy with the results. But I think you got to try it to believe it, and I hope you get a chance to do it.
It looks more like one of the smaller custom foil brands, and you guys are one of the bigger leading, brands, out there, and you've adopted something that is cutting edge, it looks like. So I think that's really smart.
So we have 4 boards in our range. We have 3 of them here. The first that we'll be releasing is the Code. The Code's been in our range for several years now. It's been a kind of a dedicated wingfoil board. There's 2 big things that are different this year. I mean, the shape's updated as well, but the 2 major changes are the construction. We have a new construction that is significantly lighter, about 1.5 pounds per board lighter. The price is up a little bit, but it comes with carbon tracks, carbon handle, and a bag now. So we've offset that increase by having some additional, premium things that come along with it. A little more bang for your buck. The biggest thing as far as the shape change is that, so our bigger boards actually they're pretty wide for stability for people getting into it, but when you get into your intermediate advanced sizes, anything from your 70 to 95 liter boards, all those boards are actually almost, they kind of are a bit of a hybrid between your traditional wing boards and your mid-length. So people looking for a little bit of a step up in performance, but don't want to go to a full mid-length, really narrow and a bit longer, the mid-size Codes are great, and then our smaller sizes, again, they're a little wider for the freestyle guys who want to land jumps and tricks and need a little more of a platform.
But they're somehow super. Is that what's that one over there? Is that a mid or small? On the ground there, right?
Yeah, that's a great. So it's not the right colorway. It was just a sample, but yeah, that's a great example. This is the 5.4, which is the longest to narrowest Code, and you can see it's borderline mid-length. It's just right before that. So I would call it more of a hybrid board. And then if you're like, no, I really want high efficiency wingfoil boards for light winds, or just, you want to ride a little bit smaller wing, then you can go into our Swift. Yeah, I think we had the first mid-length board on the market actually. And the Swift is our kind of tried and true mid-length. We'll be releasing this is the 2026 Swift, so this won't come out to the spring, but really updated profile and a little bit new sizing breakdown from the old one. But anybody who liked the old Swift, this is going to feel very familiar, just in probably a little bit more variety of sizes that will fit more people.
Yeah, so if you're a winger who feels like they're an advanced rider and you're comfortable on a narrower board and you want to just get up in the lightest wind, you get the Swift.
Absolutely.
If you are into freestyle, or it doesn't matter how good you are, you just like a little bit more stability, you go with the Code. And in those middle sizes, it will still be skinnier than the big one, but it's going to be more of a hybrid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're hired.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm trying. I did pick it up, and it was very light with that foil system on it. It felt very light. Like, it'd be great for doing backflips and stuff. Did you compromise at all on durability when you went lighter, or is it stronger than the old one, or is it the same?
I don't think it's stronger. I think we've tested it. We're not breaking them. We weren't breaking the old ones either, so I could be stronger. I don't really know.
Okay.
It's just, to us, it passes the bar of our team riders aren't breaking them and they're jumping really high.
Yeah.
And we think the quality for a little bit of a bump in the price is absolutely worth it. Plus, it comes with a bag.
Gotcha. So it's lighter, great shape, professional board. Gotcha.
Exactly. And it comes with these great individual board sleeves. Okay. Super clean, simple, easy, protects the board. And then not last but not least, but the Quest is our other new board. So this is a true downwind board. If you're into downwind foiling or really light wind parawinging, This is a fantastic board. This is the 7.0. This is the smallest 7.0, 7.6, 8.0.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Quick, you want to just tell me about the Alula wings? I guess that's the new thing on the wings you got.
Yeah, let's go take a look. They're all out in the water.
Oh, they're all in the water. Okay, well,
they're very popular.
But that's the main difference in that we did wings last year. So, but the main difference is this year you have an Alula center area of the main leading edge, right?
Yeah, we only put the Alula where we needed it, which was, we wanted a good proportion of it, a little more than 50% of it's Alula, but in the wingtips, it was unnecessary. We tried it back to back, and we said, that for the additional price, it wasn't worth it.
And some people prefer that the wingtip flexes a little bit because it's
right.
In the gust, you have a smoother ride.
That's what all of our team said too. So that was absolutely true. And the only other thing to know about the Alula is, we are leaning more towards doing limited edition runs of products now. The Alula is a limited edition. There was only 300 made for the world. So once we sell through those, we might do it again. But if you're really interested in those, definitely contact the dealer soon because those will run out quickly.
So you just still have is there a new Mantis and a new Vision as well, or are they the last year's model? Or?
No, actually the Mantis got redone, new materials, boom only now. It seems like
that's
pretty clear that everyone wants a boom, and so we removed those additional inserts, decreased the weight without compromising anything else. And then we have a brand new wing actually coming out in the spring that would be more for guys like you looking to do freestyle. That we got some feedback from our team, so kind of curious to get your feedback on that, but we don't have that here.
All right, well, feel free to send me home with a 6. Thank you so much for all the info.
Cheers.
All right, I'm here with Chris from Flite Lab. He's one of the few people that's grabbed me and said, "Oh, wingman," or actually I think you call me Rob or whatever. Always nice when someone recognizes my value. Talking about value, I think he's got a product that has a lot of value. I'm really impressed with what he just showed me, and I'll let him show it to you guys.
No worries. G'day guys. Today we've got the amp board. We've got a 4.2 here. This is a product that's been developed over a very, very long time, but we're super stoked with the way it's turned out. So what we have is we designed the Plume boards. We've got a range. We've got a 4.2, 4.6, 4.8 in what we call the S shape, which is more surf orientated. And then up the back here, you'll see we've got a 5.0 and a 5.8 at launch, and we're developing another, we're going to expand the range.
Wait, I'm going to stop you, Chris, because one, I'm getting a bad, weird light, and two, what is this? What is this thing? If no one had ever seen this before, what am I looking at?
This is an assist product, and we've just got a little bit of a different take on it. We've actually built the propulsion into the board.
Look at this, guys. What the heck is that?
So, quite an advanced jet system that we worked on for a really long time to produce, a huge amount of power for as least amount of weight as possible. We know when riding these things, balance is crucial, weight is crucial, and we really wanted to make this feel as close as possible to your regular board without it being assist.
Can you show me actually the components and how it works? Because it's not like an e-foil, it's not exactly like a foil jet. This is its own thing.
Definitely not, definitely not. So what we have is all our boards have this cavity in it, and within that cavity we can put the jet module, which we have here. Just wind it out. So you've just got one locking nut. It's quite a long nut, just in case for whatever reason you get a huge amount of sand in there or whatever. This just jacks that first bit out and breaks the seal. So there's our cartridge. So everything is contained in that. We've got electronic boards, motors, batteries. It's completely watertight, sealed. You can swap out batteries pretty quickly. You just pull off this end cap. And here's our batteries. Our batteries are waterproof, but we keep them dry because the end cap seals really, really well.
And show them how the lock on the battery is so cool for traveling.
Yep, so absolutely. So the jet takes a fair bit of power to run. So these batteries are 58 volts, 142 watt hours each. And we've got this dovetail system that connects the two batteries together. But once they're apart, they're airline compliant. So you can fly with these.
So cool.
Huge amount of tech in this and safety. These know if they've been dropped. These know if they leak. We've got a huge BMS in these things. We've got phase change material for safety and keeping the thing cool. And the other really, really cool thing is it's really, really hard for lithium to be able to just join two batteries together. So
cool.
To do that, we've got this technology where this battery could be 50%, and this battery could be 100%. You can still join them together, and they're not actually connected. And when you put them into the cartridge, it checks them all out and goes, "Nope, these aren't the same state of charge." And what will happen is when you start using it, it will take from the 100% battery first, And as that comes down, it'll limit your boost a little bit. And as that comes down and gets closer to this battery, they'll then join the batteries together.
That's so cool. And like the whole thing, it just goes into this board. And now in the video, it might look like that's a thick board just because of the wide angle lens. It's not a thick board, guys. It's like...
It's 3 inches thick.
It's the same size as a regular board almost. I mean, it really is. And it's not that heavy, you know, like when you pick it up. I mean, I said it feels like I'm one of my waterlogged boards that I ride all the time. And I do tricks, I do flips on and stuff, you know. I mean, it feels about that heavy, but for what you're getting, and it's completely seamless, like you would forget that you were riding an assist board.
It does. We spent, you know, like performance is like at the top for us. You know, followed incredibly closely by safety, but we really worked hard on the balance, where the weight is distributed. So when you're up and riding, you're pumping, you're carving, all that sort of stuff. Like we worked so hard and moving things literally millimeters to get that balance right. And it does. Like this board, like I genuinely actually love riding it with the cartridge in. Now we ride it without the cartridge as well. We've got
show that, yeah.
Got a foam blank. If the conditions are good and you don't need the boost, you just throw this in. And then that's my prime board I ride.
So you don't actually need to buy, like, so you told me the price point. Let's say it's 8,000 US, somewhere around there. Sounds like a fair amount of money, but it's you're actually not buying a separate system because you can use this board as is, and it's a good board. And people are spending $2,000-3,000 on boards, right? Just, you know, maybe not $3,000, but $2,000 on a similar style board, let's say.
Yep.
And this can be used in other ways. And then you have a little bit bigger ones that you were talking about that you can actually use this for winging or
downwinding.
Yeah, power winging maybe.
Power winging's awesome. Like, you know how gutless the Parawings are?
Yeah.
Like it just helps you get up, you know, in those lighter winds, and then once you're up, you're good to go. It's just an assist, basically. It just helps you get up.
Show the control, because it's not the same control as a regular e-foil.
No, we wanted to be hands-free, so we wanted to ditch the control. So I'll just throw this back in.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a beautiful engineering. Like, I really am impressed by this engineering.
So I'll just throw that back in quickly.
When I heard about the product, I kind of expected to see like a prototype. This is not a prototype. This is a...
Yeah, look, it's taken a long time to get to market, but because we're developing so many things, like we developed foils, a new mast system, prime boards, obviously this whole system. We've got a mast version with a motor coming. It's a huge amount of product we developed, and we wanted to get it right. We took our time. People have been looking forward to it coming out for a long time, but it just gave us a huge amount of time for testing, a huge amount of time for refinement, and we didn't want it to feel like a version 1 product.
It doesn't look like a version. This looks like a polished, well thought out end product. This looks like a V3, V4.
Thank you. It's more like V45, to be honest.
I'm not surprised to hear that.
V1 was 2020 and it looked quite different to this.
I'm actually interested in this product, and I'm not very interested in assist products, period. I'm just not. This is an interesting product. So this is the control.
So this is the control. So basically what we have here is we've got 3 buttons. We have a paddle assist, so you press that will give you 60 seconds of paddle assist. It's just a really light boost, just helps you paddle, helps you duck dive, helps you get out to the wind line if you're winging. Sometimes even like on the smaller boards, like say the 45 litre, if your balance isn't awesome for winging because you're kind of getting into winging. You've done a little bit of winging. I'm not saying it's a beginner setup. We do have beginner boards coming for winging. But I hit the paddle assist and it just, you know, when you just start moving a little bit and everything becomes a little bit more stable. So you can do that, you grab your wing, you're ready to go. Then you can hit the boost. Now the boost you can have a delay.
Show that again, the boost.
This is the boost,
the other
the
side.
triangle, yep. So you can hit the boost. Now you can change how long it takes to get to maximum boost. You can have a delay. So I can like sync start the 4.6, hit the button, I can put in 8 seconds of delay, sync the board, grab my wing, get ready, and it goes.
I don't know, we were too excited that we're going on. This is like the longest video so far because I'm excited about this product. I actually care about this product. You said you grab the wing and go.
Settings, wingings, yeah. So then what you do is you set, like say on the 45, if you're going to knee start it, you know, you're kind of sunk up to your waist. I've got wing in one hand. I'll set the boost to take about 6 seconds to get to max. I'll hit the button. It'll just start winding up. It'll come to the surface. I grab the wing, I basically then go from my knees up to my feet. It'll hit full boost, a couple of little pumps, and up you get. Like you're talking with a 4 metre, we're typically getting up in sort of around an 1,000 square metre front wing, around sort of 7-8 knots on a 45 litre. And it's great because then you go out, wing picks up a little bit, you just come back, rip the jet out, put the blank in, and you're on a 45 litre out there.
Yeah, you just take that out,
yeah,
put that in,
and you're not de-rigging, rigging smaller wings, all that sort of stuff.
You recognize this guy over here? He's famous.
Hey. Sorry, I seen your video.
But I didn't understand when I saw the Instagram stuff, and maybe you need to change some of the marketing.
Yep.
This is a complete, whatever sport you want to do in the foil. It's a complete solution. It's
absolutely.
You don't need. This is not a separate toy. This is the only toy you need because you can use it with the assist, without it. And we haven't even talked about it, and I don't want to talk about it, frankly, but they look very nice.
The foils.
You have your own foils. Yeah.
We do have our own foils.
So someone who is looking to get into this sport in whatever way, prone, sup, whatever, winging, they could just buy a complete package from you, get one of the bigger boards, a bigger foil.
Yep.
And they could use this to learn and also just continue on.
All the way. Now, I will touch on our foils because we're pretty proud of these.
I'll let you because I'm so impressed with your product.
No, we're pretty proud with these. So this has been, yet again, another huge product, huge project. We worked really, really hard on these, especially the mast architecture. Just did something a little bit different. We realised the more connections you have in a system, the more chance of movement. So we tried to minimise the connections. We're late to market compared to a lot of foil brands, but we got to see what everybody did, what worked, what didn't. Both, like these are focused on surf and wing because they're a mid-aspect foil. But what we found lacking in the market at the time was the mid-aspect foils were just absolutely awesome on the wave, but they just lacked low end and pump. So we set out to design a mid-aspect foil that surfs as good, if not better, than anything else out there, but then create this incredible low end without trying to sacrifice too much of the top end or any of the top end, which just allowed you to, one, recover if you almost stall out when you're riding, and two, just give you that ability to pump and dig yourself out of the grave when you're, just getting a little bit tired, all that sort of stuff. So really, really awesome. The mast is only 13.5 thick, so it's actually quite a thin mast for what's out in the market. Stiffness wise, like these things are like this is crazy stiff.
Yeah, that is stiff.
It is crazy stiff. Really, really, really stiff. Which we just know that you just can't go stiff enough on a mast. It just gives drive for the pump. It becomes more forgiving. You don't get that little weird twitch when you just get a little bit out of shape.
Yeah.
Like super, super solid. Connection system, like once again, we just wanted to keep it simple. Didn't want to be pulling a whole foil off and swapping tails and all that sort of stuff. Travel, all that sort of stuff. A lot of the systems have gone to monocoque front wing, which works great because once again, you're getting rid of the connection. So we worked really, really hard on working out a way we could kind of reverse engineer that. So we've got no connection on the mast. That's a solid piece there.
Oh, yeah.
The mast is UHM. So, and lots of layers of UHM, which is where we get our stiffness for such a thin mast. And then the interface we've actually done, once you actually do the bolts, you just give the wing a little twiggle and your cert's actually loose. Slides off. So no wings that are jamming. If wings are jamming and really hard to get on and off, they wear. A tiny bit of wear then obviously creates a little bit of movement. So this is titanium, so it's never going to rust.
Wow.
Super stiff. And what's great about this is because of the way it's designed, we've got 4 faces here and we rely on the 2 M8 bolts to actually pull onto those 4 faces. So even if we hack these wings up as much as we possibly can and sand them back and file them and get in there, like we've tested it, you bring it on like this, you grab your 2 M8 bolts, tighten them up. Even when I don't tighten them much, like that's barely tight, just an absolutely rock solid connection.
It's excellent. Everything is well thought out.
Really great. You have to, I mean, it's windy out there now. You should actually take one of these for a ride.
Yeah, I'd be interested actually.
Yeah. These are just, I love winging these. These are just absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
You can just, because of their low end, you can just drop a foil size and still get up, and then you're on a smaller foil. Got great top end and incredibly pitch stable, a crazy pitch stable, but just with a really predictable, beautiful roll. The roll rate's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, super. I mean, you've seen Adam Bennetts out there and Eric Geiselman ripping on these. You know, we've worked super close together with all the guys, and far too many prototypes, but you know, we're here now.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, we could talk about this for hours, and honestly, we've talked about this longer than any other product because I'm interested in it. Maybe we can set up a day where we do a full video on something, because this is just, it's really interesting technology. There's no way we can cover it all. I'm really impressed with this Flite Lab. You guys need to check this out. If you're interested in an assist product, this is really interesting. So, very cool.
Awesome, Rob. Thanks for your time.
Cheers. This is overdubbed because I left a hot mic on Chris, but yeah, I decided to stop doing interviews for the day because it was windy and I was tired of interviewing people and no one wanted to talk to me. So I wanted to try out that Flite Lab. I rigged up my 4.2. I put the GoPro on it and they set me up with a 45 liter board and one of their medium-sized foils. I think it was a 110.
Try to be a little more gentle than that. Ideally. Don't let it slip in your hand. Set screw in the back. It's a little bit long, that way it also acts as a jack, so if you do get like sand or grime or anything stuck in with your cartridge, it'll jack it out, that way it's easy to pull it out. And then our launch pad, which shows all your data. Right in the nose, ready to go.
I'm on the Flite Lab. I might try the paddle boost out. See how that works. Small board. I mean, this is 45 liters. I'm barely in the... Can't get my foot on the wing. Look. I can barely get on it. Let's see. I hit the paddle boost. Oh, that's nice. That's doing all the work for me. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, this is a luxury. I don't know if you can tell what's going on, but there's a paddle boost mode. It's just a small amount of thrust, and so then you turn that on, you get 60 seconds of pop, and then you're just paddling along with it to get out past the breakers or whatever, get back in. It's really nice. It makes you want to go prone. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's still paddling. All right, let's see if we can just get up with, we might be able to get up and go without the foil. Let's try that. I'm on a toy! That's Jeff Howard yelling at me. Yeah, without the motor on and that 45 liter board, even with the 4.2, even when there was wind, it was just really hard to get to the surface. You can see how much I'm struggling. And then whenever there's no wind, I think at one point I pop up to my feet here a little bit. And then look, I'm just way underwater, like up to my waist. So then I decided to try it with the boost, and all you do is you get ready, you press the button and you have a little delay on it, and then you get up to your knees and you start going as soon as the motor goes. That was the first try. Got close. That's pretty wild. Let's try it again. It's totally different. Yeah, it was really intuitive how to use the boost, and it's hands-free, and then what I was surprised at how good their foil was. Like, even with that motor in there, you could pump it. And this is not good bumps. This is on the inside. These are really marginal bumps. But the foil just felt really good, super stable, but just really glidey. You could try whatever you wanted on it. I mean, I just doing whatever I wanted to do. It hardly mattered that you had the foil assist in there because the board's so thin. And then even if you did fall, like I do here, you know you're going to get right back up. It's awesome. After I gave the Flite Lab back, which I didn't want to do, I wanted to keep riding it, to be honest. I saw Bobby from Bobby Keys Foils, Axis rider. He had a board and a foil. It was like the 90-liter Dart and then the 1000 Fireball, I think. So I asked if he wanted to take out my wing for a bit, and then when he came back in, I gave it a shot. Man, Axis knows how to make a foil that will just get the most energy out of every single bump. These are better bumps than the last clip. This is out in the channel, but the foil actually felt smaller than I expected. I thought for 1000 wide it would be much more low end. It didn't. You needed to get some speed going. You needed to stay at speed, but you could just get so much energy off of this foil. So efficient with that skinny rear and stuff. But it was, you know, pitchy and that kind of thing. I will say I didn't like the board. Is it a super efficient board? Yes. But I found it so hard to balance on. I couldn't even get it started in the big swell going goofy. And I'm good at starting both directions. I'm good at starting small, tiny boards. So I don't think that board is the right choice unless you're just a really advanced rider looking to get every ounce of energy out of a little bit of swell to get up on. Like, I would rather be on my VB Custom, even if it was super light wind. I'm going to be able to balance it and pump it better and stuff. But look, it's a sexy board. If you're the guy who wants to be on the most efficient board possible, it's something. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to try out Axis's new foil on day 2 or day 3 if we have wind, because they got another one. And full disclaimer, Bobby had not tightened the bolts on the mast to board connection. Yeah, it's pretty dope, but not easy to ride. After that, I had a little bit of battery left, so someone had run down a lot of the battery. I won't say who. But I decided to take out that folding Waka board. This was a 99 liter with a MA 1225. I thought I had gotten some good footage, but it looks like the battery died sooner than I thought. But yeah, here I am just kind of getting started on it, feeling, getting up to my knees, no problem. I mean, so stable compared to the last board I was on. Getting a little bit of speed. It, traveled really well in a straight line. This board, it felt like a solid board. I mean, it was a good board. It was efficient. It was very stable. Went through the water well. Once it was up, I was able to do a lot of, the little maneuvers. All right, day 2. Let's see if anyone wants to talk to us today. They're doing the Foil Surf Race League races. Maybe I'll show a little video of that.
Flite Lab versus Keahi Thompson of Axis.
So, Adam Bennetts versus Keahi Thompson. Flite Lab versus Axis. Here we go. They got to go around this buoy.
Neck and neck, headed towards the marker.
Oh, picking up speed here on the bottom. Oh, look at that. Oh, he got a much bit. The first guy, I think that's Bennett, I can't tell, turned too sharp and he lost all his momentum.
Oh.
All right, I'm here with Adam from Stoked. It's not Stoked, it's Stoke.
It's Stoke Foiling, yeah. Hi, guys.
Yeah, I've been interested in this product for a while. Tell me something about it. What makes it unique and all that.
Stoke Foiling, we make 2 different foil boost products. One is basically aimed at assisting you into getting into the power source, so like a bump, wave, or marginal wind conditions for sub foiling, for wing foiling, for downwinding, and that would be that guy right here. This is our lowered powered unit. It has 57 pounds of thrust. The biggest benefit of this particular unit is the fact that you can really easily mount it to your existing setup. It takes about 3 minutes to set up the first time. Second time you do it, you will be able to do it probably within, I would say even 30 seconds to a minute. So let's say you're winging, conditions change, it's no longer 8-10 knots, it's blowing 10-15. Obviously you don't want additional weight on your mast. You can just take it off, put it back to your car, boom, off you go. We also have another unit where we call that one Stoke Foil Boost Ultra. Come with me, guys. It is this unit right here. So this is slightly more powerful. It's 68 pounds of thrust, so not slightly, a lot more powerful. Slightly bigger battery, and that is geared towards hybrid foiling. We've built that unit mainly for prone foilers. However, it still does the boosting job like the little one that we showed you before. You can e-foil that unit, you can zip back to the lineup, catch the wave, and grab it again.
So does that one have a battery that you mount to the board, or is it still all on the mast?
No, it looks exactly the same as this one. You're just gonna notice that the battery, the nose cone, is slightly bigger. We have different batteries inside, higher density cells. It's built on a higher voltage architecture. The motor is slightly different, but when you look at the unit, the whole concept is exactly the same. There are literally 2 bolts to put the unit on and to remove the unit off your mast.
How many boosts do you get per unit, and how long is the boost?
Yeah, so that's a fantastic question. You decide how long the boost is with the trigger of the remote. So that's our Series 2 remote. The little guy, Stoke Foil Boost, we say with the sports battery, it has, on average, it will provide you with 15-second boosts. In reality, once you learn how to use the product, you don't need that 15 seconds. You need, probably less than 5. So your session can be really, really long once you learn how to use it. Bigger guy, like I said, it's more of a hybrid e-foil, so we can start talking about, the time when you are on foil and just zipping around as an e-foil. On average, 25 to 30 minutes full blast. Obviously, it's gonna depend, on the gear you're riding, how heavy you are, what conditions are in a place where you're riding. Is there a lot of water moving? So it might be slightly less, slightly more, but we're comfortable with saying 25 to 30 minutes full blast.
And what's a rough price point on them?
The Ultra is $3,995 plus tax plus shipping. The Boost is $3,595 plus tax plus shipping.
Great. It looks like a great product, and on a day like today when there's not very much wind, it might be the only option. So
that's exactly right. So our motto is foil more. So that's the whole point. You don't have the conditions that you can ride your gear that you already have. Well, grab one of our units and off you go, and you can have some fun. Yeah,
I think that's really good. We wing a lot at Topanga in Los Angeles, and it has a beautiful point break. And some of our favorite days are when it's blowing, 10 to 15. 10 to 15 is fine.
Yep.
Sometimes it's 7 to 13.
Yeah.
And that's not really enough.
Yep.
But just a boost, all you would need is, like you said, I wouldn't even need 50 boosts a day, just maybe 10 boosts a day.
Yep.
And that would make an awesome session, because once you're on the wave, it's super glassy.
That's exactly right. And the really cool thing about this unit is, like, if you're an experienced rider, and let's say you start out with this product, you can actually move it, let's say, halfway through the mast just to begin with. And then throughout your session, while you kind of get more and more confident, you want the motor to be, as close to your board as possible, because you really want to ride your foil. You don't really want to ride the boost, right?
Right.
And you progressively can change that through your session just by getting out on the beach, loosening up 2 bolts, move it up slowly to the position that, you really feel comfortable with. That's an awesome little addition. And because you get that initial power to get on foil, with the wing, you actually start creating that apparent wind really, really quickly.
Yeah.
So once you're on foil, you're good. But the problem is once you kind of fall off, you will have to pump. With that one, you guys just squeeze the trigger, few seconds, up on foil, off you go. And like you said, 7 knots wave riding, that's great, because the waves are nice and glassy, you have no chop, and those conditions are really fun to be in.
Yeah, awesome product. Yeah, I think the boosts are a really good match with the wing. It's surprising how good it works. A lot of people think prone, but I think it really is a nice match for light wind winging. But
it's awesome that you actually say this, because when we entered the market slightly over 2 years ago, it might be almost 3 years ago, we originally designed the Stoke Foil Boost for wingfoiling, and then we found, it actually does a really good job for stand-up paddling. It actually does an awesome job for, like, sub downwinding.
Yeah.
And then we realized, market is actually going towards the direction where, prone foiling, hybrid foiling, connecting waves while motoring in. And that's exactly why we've designed the higher powered version.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the info. It's really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming over, and come see us.
All right. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Gnarly Marley. I called him earlier this year the most underrated foiler, wing foiler maybe.
Thank you.
What's going on, man?
Well, yeah, we're here, second day of AWSI. I mean, wind's not too strong yet, but everyone's FSRL racing and e-foils, so it's gonna pick up.
I mean, we got wind yesterday, so it was already better than last year when it was 100 degrees and no wind for 3 days.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
What are you working on lately? I know you were you working on a double pop shove it? Did I see that?
Yeah, I've been practicing those, having fun. But
have you landed one?
Not yet. No.
It's pretty gnarly.
Still, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's the right amount of a spin and then landing perfect, so it's always a challenge.
I'm still trying to get the first one. It's too scary. I don't know. Cool. Anything else you're working on?
Yeah, just big wave foiling and a lot of winter this year, so can't wait to get out there.
Awesome, dude. Well, people should definitely check you out because, like I said, you're one of the true rippers out there.
Thank you so much.
All right, over here at the Armstrong. Oh, that's the man
guys,
himself.
how's it going? We're at the Armstrong booth and AWSI 2025. It's been awesome. Wind every day. New toys to play with. So fun and. Whew, big project for us, XPS Mark II with the boom. Loving these things, super fun to ride. They're just a small tweak on the XPS, what we love. We took it further, a little bit lower aspect, a little bit zippier. We're loving these things. So yeah, come into the booth, let's see what else we've got.
Let's do it.
MA Mark II foil, 690, that's my daily driver for winging. Love that thing when there's wind. However, if the wind's a bit lighter or you're bigger, you can step up to the bigger sizes. And these things turn so beautifully. The 990 I use for light winding, or if you want to come through the 990, what else do we put it on? We have the new foil drive integrated mast.
Oh, wow.
So integrated carbon mast, comes with the puck and cable already installed. You bang your motor on, plug it onto a max, or foil drive have got their new Fusion, which is kind of an e-foil system. So there's also much bigger battery. So we've got an e-foil motor pod height as well, down at 650. We're loving this 185 for the foil assist. So that's all fresh and new. And then paired with the MAs, the new MA Mark II for foil drive, these are made for it. They are so sick. Carvy, turny, glidey with the foil drive. That's such a fun rig. And coming right to the back of the stand, check this wall out. Our accessory range, frothing on this. We've got some beautiful, beautiful travel bags. These things have been really worked on to be optimized. They're super light, have wheels, ready to roll. And the accessory rack, the team has been working hard on this. We've got bump caps. Here you go, we've got Chris is talking about, there's a hot item, new foot straps, the whole lot. So you have a good close look at that stuff. The leashes are insane, hollow coiled floating leashes, all sorts of fine tunings, the tweaky gear.
Awesome. I like the hot pink. I like it.
Oh yeah, no, we've gone pink. So we've got, this is a signal series. So we've got the blue option as well. But basically, if you want to be seen on the water, which is in our sports, when you're out there, it's super important. You can just throw a hat on, or you can go full pink. I like to go the full pink. Then, you know, boats and stuff, whatever, no issues. So yeah, love it.
Tell me real quick, how did your M2O go? I saw you were out, you sponsored the race, right? And then you got out there and you did it, right?
M2O, oh yeah, I've been doing that for a few years now. It's like, it's my annual challenge. Got to keep fit, and the M2O gives me motivation to train, and it's just such a blast. It's brutal though now because you've got the Maui to Molokai, 1 day off, and then the Molokai Oahu, and so it's 2 massive days of racing with 1 day off in between. And I don't know, next year I might take a break on one of them, because the problem is after you do the first race, you're trying to recover, then you feel good, you take a day off, you rest, and then, you know, but you're fully burnt out after the first race, to be honest. I am anyway. And then the second race, which is the harder one, I was like an hour in and my legs were just gone. I'm like, uh-oh, I've still got an hour to go at least. And then if you crash in that race, the water is just like all over the place, the bounce coming off Oahu, and it's super hard to start. So I kind of got stuck after wiping out for a bit. But no, I still got through it, got there in the end, but it was
That's all that
brutal.
matters at that race. You just got to get to the
It was
end.
brutal the last half because my legs were done after the race before, and I'm just trying to start and getting knocked off the board, and it's like, yeah, humbling. Crazy channel, that will humble you every time.
I got to do it one of these days, but I love that you guys sponsor the race, and then you had that live stream this year.
Yeah, well, those guys really wanted to do it, and they didn't have anyone kind of coming forward to sponsor it, so we were like, yeah, let's do it, because this is great that you guys are putting the effort in to get the footage out, and a lot of people followed it with the dot vision and the live stream combined. First time ever, people actually got a bit of a taste of it. Like, it's super hard to capture. Like, to be honest, everyone, like after the first minute, everyone's going in every direction.
Yep.
It's crazy. You got some people taking a north line, some people going south, some people going straight, and it just looks like everyone's like, are they even going to the same point? So everyone just spreads out in the ocean. Yeah. It's hard to see. The bumps are big. Like, there's a lot of energy, so you disappear in troughs. And then you got the escort boats chasing everyone down, wakes everywhere. So yeah, it's just...
Well, we loved it. We loved the live coverage. Definitely,
right.
if we can do it again next year. And I want to get to the point to where we're up on the betting sites and we can get some bets on who we think's going to win.
That's a great idea. Yeah. We got Annie just walked by. Annie crushed it as always. Annie, M2O champ this year. So yeah, total legend. And it's those two races, I kid you not, like, I barely finished. So I don't know how the race foils that these guys are on are so tiny. Like, oh my God. They're fast.
Oh, she's got to plug the brand.
You know, so the fast foils, you got to be super efficient. You got to stay high, and that, I don't know. After the early race, yeah, you've got to be fit. So Annie does a lot of off the water training. So she's an inspiration to us all.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the talk. Appreciate everything you do.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, I'm here at Hyda with Byron and whoever this is.
Oh, that's Delta.
And what do you guys got here? You got some water-specific helmets, huh?
Yep, we're here with Hyda helmets. We've got a couple of models. So, well, first and foremost, you know, Hyda is designed to be like super hydrodynamic and aerodynamic. So, you know, the idea is to reduce drag as you're entering the water, whether you're duck diving when you're surfing or whether you're wiping out when you're flying. We've got two models. We have the core. So the core has got an EVA padding, comes in 4 sizes: small, medium, large, and extra large. And then we have the Fusion, which just has a more lightweight EPS padding, and it comes in 2 sizes. It comes in small, medium, large, extra large. It's all the same shell, so it's basically just changing the side of the padding.
Oh, okay.
The padding for your fit. Hard to do this one-handed, but we've got this, what do you call this? Fit lock. And then you've got the size adjustment here, which is awesome. They're lightweight. You won't even know you have it on. Super good helmet.
Yeah, and it protects the ears, which I like, from, you know, chop your ear off with a foil pretty easily. Also, it looks like when you do hit the water from like a huge air and you hit your head on the water, maybe not going to get the bucket effect as much as some of the helmets.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is to have easy entry into the water, easy movement through the water, so you mitigate that drag so you don't have that effect. Exactly.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thanks for the info.
Right on, Rob.
All right. Look, I really liked the Flite Lab. I see huge potential for light wind, waves, and Topanga with that board. It's awesome. I like the boost. I think it's a cool product as well. You know, same sort of thing. You can use whatever you can. But I'm just seeing so much focus on e-foil this year. Everyone's just focused on foil drive integration, or Duotone has their new backpack thing. Manta has their backpack thing, which I think is really dumb. The worst part of being a foiler is being fat, because having that extra weight up here, it's just going to mess up your center of balance. That's not the direction we should be going. You know, I guess they ran out of ideas for like what they can sell new stuff in, like just traditional foils or wings and stuff. I don't know. It's all like they have their proprietary masts and stuff where like, oh, we have the foil drive mast. It's like, bro, like you really need more proprietary gear that is not interchangeable. Like, no, I'll just get a boost. I'll stick it on any mast I want, or I'll just get a flight board, because that's a good system that's completely integrated, and I can take it off and I can put on whatever foil I want, or I can just use the board without it. I don't know. I think they're on the wrong track here. All right, back with everyone's favorite semi-custom board brand, Appletree.
What's up, everyone?
What's going on this year? What do you got?
Yeah, so for this year, we've got a couple of cool new stuff. We've got some prototypes hanging around that are not ready to show yet. I think last year we were the first brand ever to show a trenched out board for foil drive. Everyone remembers. But now you can see everyone has sort of followed suit and made a mid-length style trench board. So this is the one we had last year, but this is like the production one.
It's beautiful. That orange is so nice.
It really pops. It's kind of nice. Again, this is a custom, so we're, like you said, known for our custom board. So you can get any board in any color if you want. Here, if you want one quick, you get a black one from one of the dealers or our online shop. If you have a couple weeks to wait, we can make it in basically any color you like. But then this year we're launching the Zappel S, which is like the slim version of the Zappel. The reason is last year a lot of more beginner style riders were riding the foil drive, and this year you can really see that it's becoming bigger for people that actually really know how to foil and using it for like riding big waves and getting to spots where you otherwise couldn't foil. But they were all asking for something slimmer package, really designed for like shredding, really hard riding, and the mid lengths are not always great for that. They are great for efficiency. This is great for like harder cars, harder turns. So it's essentially like our new prone board, but then with the trench in here for foil drive. Pretty much on the forefront of design. Everyone's copying this, making a mid-length. We're coming out with a shorter one. Then the other super cool thing that we have, this is purely a concept, but it's kind of cool. Gives you a bit of an idea where the foiling world might be heading to. Now that's completely different.
Whoa!
It doesn't have the double tracks.
Why not?
So this is a thing that we're working on also together with Core. They're our sort of launch partner for this, but it's an Appletree invention. The twin tracks that have been in surfboards in foil boards since we started foiling, they're essentially two fin boxes from a normal surfboard. And never really designed for foiling, but it was the only thing we had laying around, so that's what we started using, and then it became the standard. But actually it's not great because you have to make a pedestal that's really draggy in the water. There's a reason why all the racers use the toggle box with the screws from the other side. And you need to put a lot of reinforcement in that pedestal to make sure everything's strong and connected. It's really inefficient, and it's really not sleek because you need to make a really big flat spot in your board in order to mount that box. So we made this. It's called the Radix Foil Track. Cool thing about it, you can see this is a mast. This is one of the first masts we have. Not available yet, like pure proto, but you can see how sleek that is, how light that is. It really, you need a lot less material here. You of course need to make the reinforcements. A lot of the reinforcements that were in the mast head now inside the board, but it's more efficient to make it inside the board, so you can make the total package much lighter. It's got T-nuts already attached to the mast, so you won't lose them. They can go in, there's no big hole. They slide in. Yeah, you can come close. Then if you start twisting, the T-nuts auto twist in place and lock, and then the back one as well. So it auto twists inside, and then when you start tightening, it's a conical fit, so it slides in and you tighten it down, and it really sits in there super tight. Really slick total package, way better water flow. You can see really quick, no aligning of T-nuts, no nothing.
Yeah.
Still adjustability, and then the coolest thing is this tapered fit. It does always get stuck with the throttle boxes, so you unscrew, so they're fully loose. If you keep screwing, there's the little rings on there, and they make the T-nut a pushing device. So you keep turning, and you can see it actually pushes the mast out of the track. So it works its way loose until here, and then it's loose, and then I now did this a little too far, but you can just twist and take the T-nut out and connect it again.
Wow. That's so cool. Is that your mast or is that Core's mast?
This is a mast that Core made, but this is again just a sample because we don't make masts. So they are co-developing this, and they made the first mast. This is a mast. It's really a prototype. So I won't expect anything like this to hit the market before 2027. But it's just we're working on new stuff. But for instance, we also have already a Cedrus mast with an aluminum head.
That's what I was.
Yeah, so this is see, this also fits. It's a little less sleek, but it totally works. And we had these made so we can prototype and demo this with different foils. So we got Kyle from Cedrus to make us these. You could even make a plate adapter for this again, so you have a crossover thing for in the meantime whilst we're sort of maybe maybe hopefully switching the industry over to a better new standard.
Yeah, because no one wants to be like making their current stuff obsolete.
No.
Yeah, you want to have some sort of back compatibility.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I know it's going to be hard to change. Everyone's used to the same kind of system for years. But, you know, if there is a brand that can launch it, it's us, because we're kind of cool with most other brands.
Yeah.
We don't have beef with anyone. And I know from a number of other brands that they've been thinking about doing something like this. But a big brand in itself cannot do it, because their competitor brands will never jump on their wagon, and therefore it will never succeed. Now, hopefully, us being completely independent and not that much of a competition apart from boards, we hope that we can convince people to get onto this. So
yeah, because you guys have other collabs. You have a collab with Cabrinha as well.
Yeah, we have a kiteboard collab with Cabrinha that's just taking shape. We've been making boards for Core for a really long time. We've been making boards for Cabrinha. We've done samples for a few other brands. We do foil drive boards. We do boards for some other brands here. So we do the Omen boards, of course, that are not here, but
and everyone loves those.
Exactly. So we already do a lot of collabs with other brands. We're Appletree Surfboards as a brand, but we're also Appletree Manufacturing as a manufacturing provider, which is essentially a separate company doing the manufacturer fee for us and for other brands as well. So we're kind of running two companies here. So.
Well, I love that you guys are innovating. I love that you're trying to make stuff that work with the rest of the industry, and not just there's so much proprietary stuff this year that's just going to segregate your gear even more. And I love that you're doing something different.
Yeah, thanks.
Great.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for coming by.
This is local LA boy Frankie. Like a few months ago, this guy had never heard of a SUP foil, and in like 3 days now he's like a pro SUP guy doing M2O and stuff. Like
no, not yet. Next year maybe.
Next year, okay. Yeah. You're putting together an event in LA like next week, right? What's the story with that?
Yeah, exactly. So next Saturday, not this Saturday, the next one Saturday, September 13th, we're having a little fun race at Malibu. So it's Colony to Gladstone's 8-mile run, super fun. Bumps are super fun there, super mellow. If we get some good conditions, honestly, we don't need much. We need 8 knots and we're on. So we have some pretty serious guys signing up already. So it should be a great day.
Nice. So can people still sign up? Because I'll probably release this video Sunday, so there's time if they...
Yeah. The day before, people can sign up. Link, I guess Rob will give it to you, but it's on my Instagram page on one of my highlighted stories.
No, we won't, because it's insanely long, but just go to his Instagram and you'll see it there.
Link is there to sign up, so it should be a great day.
Awesome. We'll put it on there.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. I'm here with Steve from Stinger Boards. We talked to them last year. He was the only one that said, I'll keep it short because I know you got a lot of people talking your ear off.
So new for 2026, we now have what we call the vortexes, and in the tail end what we're finding is we're going to get water flushing, and guys want to get up faster on foil than they did last year. And what we're able to do is, through the wonderful world of younger guys that go to school and have helped me with engineering and water dynamics, we actually created a vortex through here on the back and on both sides. So now when water comes through and you're starting to break free, the water's flushing even faster, whether it's in a downwinder or in a mid or Parawing. Our new Alta series that are thinner, a little wider. And again, you get that vortex tail you can see through the video. It's pretty cool. It's crazy the difference for getting up on foil these days.
Huh. So that's faster than just a flat bottom,
surface,
or like
right.
a pintail, or
right. Think of like the boats, and you're trying to get the wave to come out and swirl off, and that's what we're doing. We're getting the water to come away from the board and release the board even more, and that's what's happening there. And so we have it in our Parawing Wingfoil series, which is called the Alta series, and it's in our Stealth and our Downwinder series as well.
Yeah, and this is is a new one over here, right?
Yeah, our Downwinders down below, and the mids are here.
These are really cool looking design.
And that's the new Hemi graphic, I call it, because I'm a bit of a car junkie, so this is a bit of the Hemi graphic that I like to
I like it. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, and then that's 2025 and 2026. We had a blue graphic. The green stays the same for Stealth. And then for the Alta series, for the Parawing and Wingfoil guys, we put a blue graphic in there, but still Hemi.
Very cool. These are all available right now? Or
all available now, yeah.
All right. And where can they get them?
Online, stingerfoils.com or stingerboards.com, and you can find it at some of the retailers around your neighborhood.
Awesome. Anything else you want to say?
Thanks for letting me be part of the big show.
All right. Awesome. Cheers. All right, I'm over here with Brian from Lift, the original e-foil company and probably the industry leader, I think you'd have to say.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, so what you got for us this year?
Yeah, so this year we released the new Lift 5 e-foil and the Lift X, so we have two different model boards. This is the Lift X here. It's designed for riding in the waves. It's a smaller profile design. And also on both boards we've used like automatic attachments. So this board here you'll see, just to take the mast off, super easy. You just lift this lever here, mast comes straight off. Not this wing, but the other ones have a quick release on the wing as well. And then to put it back on, you just drop it back in, lock it in just like that. So
That's
super
so
easy. And this board comes in a 4.3, a 4.8, and a 5.2. This is the big board here. I can show you how to put the battery in. So this is the X battery. So no more hatch on our boards. Just put the battery in, push it down, lock the handle out, turn it on, and you're off and running. So it takes about 30 seconds to set the whole board up. And yeah, they're super fun to ride. They're great in the waves. You can ride unpowered. We have a high mount and a low mount motor for them. So you can ride it as a traditional e-foil with a folding prop, or the high mount motor with the folding prop, and yeah, totally get the motor out of the water when you're riding waves and doing downwinders.
Yeah, it's super impressive, and maybe you could show on this one the foil, because it really is a toolless. There's only 2 screws on the fuse, right? So if you wanted to, you could take the fuse off.
Yep.
But
so it just comes straight off, just like that.
So you can put the whole thing together with that.
Yep.
That little tool.
Just click
and
that
then
down.
That one down there.
Take this off here. Super, super easy.
The theme of AWSI this year seems to be foil drive integration to all these different systems. But I will say that this right here is a fully finished product. This is not like a prototype. This is not a piecing together. This is a complete system that has been thought out, is my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's our 5th generation of boards.
Yeah.
You know, we got rid of the hatch, we got rid of all the wires, so you don't have to mess with any of that stuff anymore. Now it's just plug and play. Set your board up quick. It's easy to, take it out of your car, get on the water really fast, take it apart when you're done. The batteries charge in 45 minutes. You're getting, on the 5 on a bigger wing, you're getting, over an hour and a half of ride time. And you're getting about an hour, depending on how much you're riding unpowered on the exports too. So
yeah, I think
great battery life, quick charging. So yeah, everything's stepped up a lot this year.
If you're looking for a real e-foil, I think this is the way to go. If you're looking for a dedicated e-foil, this is the way to go. What's the price range like? Rough ballpark. What are we looking? It's not going to be cheap, I know.
Yeah, both of the X and the Lift 5 are $14,500.
Okay, so it's still a full on premium e-foil.
Yeah, but we're using all M2 carbon in all of our wings and our masts, and it's all the highest quality materials and stuff too. So
well, that's the other thing I was going to say, right? So with this e-foil, you're getting a good e-foil, but you guys also have great foils. Like, you're known for the great foils. The 120 HA was a very popular foil.
Yep.
What's going on with the foil? We don't hear as much about it. You guys are talking, you're kind of, it seems like you're going more e-foil centric now. But
yeah, I mean, e-foil's always been a huge part of the business, but we make a ton of great traditional foils too. And, for the longest time, we're the only company that you could put all of our wings on their e-foil. We were the only ones making traditional foils and e-foils. So you can basically put any lift wing ever on our e-foils now.
What's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, latest and greatest stuff is we've been doing a lot of new high aspect stuff with the Florence brothers. A lot of good downwinding stuff. We just came out with a 90 Florence and a 71 Florence, which are super fast, like 16 aspect ratio wings.
Okay.
So really fast and really good on downwinders and going super fast on open ocean stuff. Our HA wings now are like super, super good. We got them in a lot of different sizes. And
all right, let me just get a video of one. Let me show. Is this one of them right here?
No, but this one is.
This one. Okay, this is the Florence 110.
Yeah.
And this it's pretty high aspect. Is it high camber as well?
Yeah, this one is, this one's a 13:1 aspect ratio.
It looks pretty sweet. It looks good for downwinding.
Yeah, the 110's been really popular. Like Brady and those guys rode M2O on it last year. So yeah, really good wing for that. And it comes in a 130, a 110, a 90, and a 70.
Brady Hurley?
Yeah, he knows what he's doing out there, and yeah, he's always going pretty fast. So he's trying to ride the smallest wing possible with the most glide in those long races. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much for the info.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Cheers.
Awesome. All right, I'm here with Kevin, Eleveight, what's Action Sports Logistics, is that?
Yep, Action Sports Logistics, that's the distribution, but our main brand is Eleveight. So yeah,
and
you're right twice.
You're doing well overseas, obviously, but American riders need to pay attention to this brand. I said it last year, and I'm saying it again. Like, guys, look at this wing. You can just look at it, and it's a good wing, and it looks cooler than most of the wings out there. which is, I don't know. Tell us about what you got this year. Maybe people will listen this year. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually in the past year, we've had a lot of an uptick, like I said, in our wing program. We've continued to add. I mean, we started out with the WFS, and then we had the GT1 that was added. We've continued to add. We now have the V2 of the WFS Pro and the GT3. Main differences this year are going to be now that the GT3 is switched to the boom. GT3, you had the convertible handles, and we went to rigid handles. But just the feedback from the market and the team riders, like people just preferred the boom. So the GT3 is going to be our performance wave oriented wing. It's going to have some of the WFS's DNA, but it's not going to have quite as much low end. But it drifts really well. Side note, the past couple of years I've been like kind of tiptoeing around being a winger. And this last year I'm actually officially a winger now, so I can speak to it a bit from personal experience as well as regurgitating the talking points. So obviously I know about design and whatnot, but I've actually been able to try these wings, compare them to a lot, and have enough of a level to where I think I can know the difference between them. So again, the GT3 is going to have a bit less low end than something like the WFS, but it rockets upwind, doesn't backwind on you. It's very, very stable, and it's like it kind of floats behind you in one hand.
Not backwinding is huge. So many wings will backwind when you go too high an angle, and it's a horrible, or you can't tack correctly because of them.
Well, and again, that was one of the things that I always heard, like, oh, this one backwinds, this one doesn't backwind. Like actually trying, because when I actually first learned, full disclosure, the first wing that I was on wasn't an Eleveight wing. So obviously I was a beginner, didn't know what I was doing, but it was a really big wing. I'm a big guy, the wind was light. So as I transitioned to try it, I'm like, well, am I just being biased? Have I gotten better, or is it different? So going back and forth and trying different things back to back, I didn't really understand what it meant. Like with certain angles, especially if it gets a little windier, if you don't know what you're doing, you can really be hindered by the way the wing is behaving.
It's really important. If you're working on your tacks, because a lot of guys are still working on tacks, right?
Oh, yeah,
if you're working on tacks and you're struggling when you pull the wing over and it's kind of going nose down and back winding you in the tack, it might not be you. It might be the wing.
Yeah.
It really might. But anyway, enough on that topic. What else you got?
No, absolutely. So yeah, this is using the XTC tech, so it's going to be right in the middle in terms of materials. We have a traditional leading edge material with the WFS. We have the Alula with the WFS Pro, and this is going to be that XTC tech. So still relatively easy to repair, but it's going to be stiffer, it's going to be lighter, it's going to have that added durability. So
oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, in the middle in terms of price points. But yeah, great all-around wing for the surf. This was going to come anywhere from 2 all the way up to 7. No 0.5 sizes on the GT3. So this bad boy, this is the WFS. This is going to be our OG all-around wing, the one that you probably first tried with us. Has been a boom for the past, since the beginning. We switched to a carbon fiber boom and reduced the diameter last year. So it definitely lightened it up. Also changed the contact points a couple of years back to give it more rigidity. Changed the angle on the leading edge to give more space between the wing and the boom while still retaining that canopy tension. That's one of the things that I hear a lot about this wing. This wing does stay very taut. You can still pump it, you can still get power out of it, but it never noodles on you. This is the one actually, the 6.5 of this one is the one that I've used the most. And again, me doing all the wrong things, falling on it, rolling it in the surf, I've beaten this up, and it still stood the test of time, still looks pretty good.
That's the most important thing, is a tight wing. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this one, because it's our all-around, it's our most popular wing, it's going to come in the most sizes. So anywhere from 2 all the way up to 6.5, every half step along the way. Another thing that, probably ask your opinion on, that's one of the things that I was like kind of struggling with, like, oh, do you really, like 3.5 versus 3, like how do you round out your quiver? I kind of started with the 6.5 because that's the big one and kind of went from there.
Yeah, I think 6.5 is actually a nice size for most people for like their light wind wing. Once you're good, if you're a big guy starting out, you might need a 7 or a 7.5 or something. But once you get it a 6.5 with an efficient board, that might be the biggest wing you need. And then you might work down from there. If you're a little smaller, maybe the 6 or a 5.5 is the biggest wing you need, you know? Or if you just want to buy one wing, you could probably buy a 5.5 if you're an average sized person and use it in 95% of conditions.
Yeah.
You really probably could, unless you live in the gorge, then you would get like a 3.5 or something, but
Right, yeah. So that's how I was. I started out learning on a 7. I switched to the 6.5. That's kind of my go-to. And I have a 6.5 and a 5.5 are kind of the 2 main ones I'm using. But I'm using primarily the 6.5 at this point. I'm 205 pounds, so pretty big guy.
You got Clinton. I don't know if you know Clinton. He's an absolute ripper, big old like Hawaiian kind of guy, 250 or so.
Yeah.
Absolutely rips. He just wants the more power. He's on 8.0 when it's blowing 30 miles an hour. He just wants power.
That's crazy.
So you got different, different styles. But I think a little smaller wing is nice if you can get away with it.
I guess also with the front wing too. I was using a big rig, so I was like, I'd be struggling to get up, and then I'd pop up and instantly be overpowered on the one that I was using before. That was another thing that I found too. It's like, I was able, if this makes sense to you, it was easier for me to dump the power a little bit, as opposed to being a bit more off and on. So again, a lot more forgiving for sure with the WFS than the other ones that I was using.
Awesome.
So here's the WFS Pro. So this was the V2. This came on the scene last year. This is the one that all our top freestyle, free ride guys are riding. A lot of the guys are riding this one in the surf as well. The GT3 did just come out, but from what I understand, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the reason that they're using this is because it's lightweight. So it still works well in the waves. The GT3, I think, will become the team wave wing now that it's out. But right now, this one works well in the waves, but it's so light that I think that's why, as opposed to the design.
Well, and you're going to get the stiffness out of the leading edge of Lula.
Yeah.
So that's going to give you 100% power in your jumps, and it's going to give you more speed, like it's probably got a little thinner diameter, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But honestly, I'm a big fan of these middle materials. Like Duotone had the Penta TX. I like those middle materials. Especially if they have durability. All three of these wings, I think people are going to be happy with. It's kind of just which end of the spectrum are you looking at? I'm sure I could ride all three of them in any conditions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this one for sure is always getting top marks in terms of premium wings. This one, I think, is one of the reasons we've had that big increase in the sales. When we had the WFS Pro last year, it was the first year. And I think that essentially the performance end of the spectrum and the opinion leaders started taking notice of the entire line, and kind of the rising tide raises all ships. So they were like, oh man, this is like, no matter how much money you have or which brand you want to go to, like among all, like this thing is standing head and shoulders above a lot of the other brands.
Oh, sure.
So then they started taking notice of the rest of the lines, and again, the sales started to increase.
If you want to jump another 5 meters, maybe you get the Alula.
Yeah.
That's
there you go. That
or
makes
you want
sense.
or you want to race, maybe get the Alula. All right, but let's move on. Let's move on to show me a couple other things, and then let's get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving on to the board, let me just show you here. So we also did a full redesign of the board line. We have the Evolve series. So what they did is they have three different, let's say, three different categories. We have the Evolve S, which is going to be the smaller boards. So we go into the 30s and 40s in terms of liters. You go up there from the 75 liter all the way up to the 90 and the 125. That's the regular Evolve. And then you go up to like the 150, which is going to be our big boy trainer learner board. Each one of these sizes, they're not just scaled, they're individually shaped and designed based on the conditions and the rider, based on the volume, right? What we did across the line, we changed the construction to maintain that rigidity, but they're lighter weight now. And also, we've gone to a little bit narrower of a design, and I think that for everyone, that just helps with the planing efficiency. They're still going to be very flotacious, they're still going to be very stable per size, but they're also going to be more efficient, going to be able to get up. The first board I learned on, again, giant board, but it was more of a barge. And I heard from a couple of guys on the beach, like, it kind of might be holding you back because you're not really able to get up on the plane. So this efficient design, I was able to go from like a 144, which is what I was using, to the 125. It was actually easier for me to get up. It was more stable. And our team, even a lot of our guys that were using custom boards, they're all using the Evolve now because, again, the design is really caught up with the innovation.
I was riding on a board the other day, like yesterday, and it's super efficient, but it was not very stable for me. I think most people benefit in that middle ground. When, like you're talking about, stability mixed with efficiency is probably for 90% of riders the right choice.
Right.
I was worried I was going to not be able to even get back up at one point because it was just so unstable. It was very efficient, but it was so unstable.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think for me, that's like, and before I think we were more on the stability side, but not quite as efficient. Now I think they've married that, and they have that, again, size for size. You're still going to have that volume, still going to be stable enough. But now I think with the early planing on the bigger boards, and again the smaller boards, you don't need to be blowing 50 for you to get out of the water.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then you got some new foils.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's walk over here. Delta section. So essentially, it's funny because every year we kind of like show you what we have in production, then we show you what we have prototype wise. So I think last year the 590 was in prototype phase. Now we have the full production of the 590. Couple of tweaks that have been made to it between then and now. Essentially, just messing a little bit with the aspect ratio. As George goes down in size, he's able to go up in aspect ratio. We also do have, I don't have it here, I think George took it to show somebody. We have a new downwind segment. So the 590 high aspect and then the 850 mid aspect are going to be the two new wings. 590 high aspect, you can use it for crossover, for kiting if you'd like. But a lot of our smaller guys, high wind, high performance, are really loving it because the shape is still efficient. Most of these wings are going to ride a bit larger than they are. There's going to be a gap, let's say maybe between the 700 and the 1050. But if you can ride the 850, you can almost ride the 700. It's also almost going to be the weight of the rider and how much maneuverability versus lift you'd like.
Yeah, I rode that 700 like a year or two ago, and it's a fantastic wing. It doesn't ride like what you think a 700 is going to ride. I could ride the 590, and that's really small, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it does instill confidence. I mean, just like everything with the old kite days, you tell people not to get caught up in the numbers. I think people do like to be like, oh, I'm on this wing or I'm on that wing. So the stability and the efficiency of these wings is good, but you also have the performance. We've also gone down. We have a few more stabilizers. We're down to a 180 flat. Now we also have a 140 flat in production. So between that and also the new 367 fuselage, which I believe you tested last year, which is that mid-length fuselage for the R-frame, we now have that added maneuverability, but we still have the stability of the front wing.
Yeah, I think that may be something that was missing on the wings. I actually like the stability of these foils. I think for people who are like learning or who want a stable foil, they're very stable. They glide amazing. They pump amazing. I don't know why some of these young rippers are not using these for downwinding races because they really are excellent downwinding foils. Yeah, that was with the older tail.
Yeah.
And now you've got a flat tail that's in a shorter fuselage. It's going to unlock that.
Exactly.
And you're going to be able to really rip some turns on it, but still have that pump and glide. So.
Right, yeah, we have the 319 and 367 now, and then we went down to, we had two stabilizers before, but they were both curved and they were both relatively big. Yeah. Now with the 180 and the 130, especially playing with that 367, our guys are loving it in the waves. It's a lot easier to maneuver and turn, especially for those intermediate advanced guys.
Yeah, these are good foils, guys. I mean, I'm not just saying that. They are very good foils. So Eleveight and Delta foils, and yeah, check it out.
Absolutely, thanks a lot.
All right, I'm here with the local boy with a French accent.
What up?
You guys remember Luca? We're going to talk to F1 this year because we didn't last year. And I asked Luca, what do you want to talk about? And he said the Plume, which I was like, okay, let's do it.
I love this thing. If I'm not winging, I'm pluming all day long.
So why Plume as opposed to Parawing?
First of all, it's a lot more stable. Maybe I can show you. Even though there's not much wind. Now there's no gust. It has a great wind range, like 20 knots. So I can ride this 3.5. I can ride this in 25 knots and I can ride it in 45 knots. One size basically fits all.
You're a freestyle guy, so you like it because you can do freestyle on it.
I do like that it can do freestyle, yeah.
But is it fun for downwinding?
It is more for downwinding. And just for riding as opposed to freestyle. Obviously I do freestyle because that's my thing. I consider myself a pro freestyle plumer.
A pro plumer. But I guess my point is like, so would someone that wants to just downwind, if they get this, is it going to be better for downwinding than the wing?
For sure. It's called the plume, which in French means feather, because it weighs 1 kilo as to a wing, without counting handles and stuff, weighs 2 kilos. So it's half the weight. There's no center strut to weigh it down. So it's basically always wherever you want it to be. It's super light, you can move it, super visible. It's just something to get you up, to ride, to have fun. And if you want to catch swell, if you want to downwind, you can hold it. And it's like nothing in your hands.
So show us that. I guess you pull on that thing on the bar. How does that work?
Well, so this is attached to your hand, or me, since I'm a freestyler, I attach it to my waist for back mobs and stuff. If there was wind, it would be up in the sky. You ride, and when you want to catch the plume to just ride swell, you pull this, and it'll bring you to the handle, and then you'll just have it here. And it's kind of like holding a kite, walking with a tiny kite on the beach. You'll just have it upside down. The wind will hold it up. You can just ride around and have fun.
And less drag than a wing, you think?
Definitely less drag than a wing.
Interesting.
Because it's just floating there.
Is this a good option for someone that wants to learn how to parawing? Like, would you get this first and then get a parawing second?
It's definitely easier than parawinging. It's more intuitive. You could hand this to a 5-year-old and within a minute they would be holding it on the beach, having fun with it. It's definitely easier. It's it could be a transition into parawinging, but most likely if you get this, you're gonna stick with it before you get to parawinging.
Okay, well, you got a big one here. Maybe I'll try one later. You're kind of convincing me.
This is a 5 meter. This is a 3.5. It goes from 3 to 5 for now, and it'll go up to 6.
Is five not enough for me? I probably need a 6, huh?
Well, there's not much wind right now, but later, yeah.
Maybe.
I was on a 3.5 yesterday, pretty comfortable, so.
Okay, cool. You want to show us anything else, like some foils or anything? I don't know. Or a new wing? How's the wing this year? Is it any better? Or?
It's amazing.
That one looks good over there. What's that?
It looks like the Swing V5.
What are you using?
I'm using the Strikes, which are the freestyle wings, because I'm a freestyler. So.
Yep. But you race? Do you race too, or no?
I do race.
So do you use the same wing for race?
I use the same wing because it's the fastest wing out there.
You can't be faster than a double skinned.
Not as faster than a double. Well, it depends actually.
Yeah.
In certain conditions, it does perform better.
Yeah.
Than certain double skins, but obviously double skin, it's made for speed.
Yeah, it's less drag, aerodynamic.
Yeah, more aerodynamic.
But are you using this Alula one or a different one?
So I'm using the Alula one, Strike Alula V5. I can do everything on it, any trick you think of.
Well, I've seen you do most tricks, so I believe you, but maybe, we don't know how much that is. You just might be a freak. What about foils? Anything good over there?
Well, actually, I wanted to talk about some boards, but it looks like they're all on the water for
These
now.
are no good?
Yeah, this is the new Rocket Wing S. So as opposed to, this was last year's model. So you see it's not as wide, it's a little thinner.
Yeah.
And we added leaderage to the tail to make up for that stability loss from the width. So it's still just as stable because of the length. Also makes it get up easier. It's the S, it's the surf model.
Yeah.
You can surf without having to worry about your rails hitting the water.
I think it's important to have that stability, and that you need the efficient board, but it's important to have that stability. I'm glad you mentioned that. And it also looks like a fairly flat bottom, so that should give
it is
somewhat stable as well.
It does have a little bit of a double concave, but very, very slight. Not too much.
And then for freestyle, you're using something else probably, huh?
If I'm freestyling, I'm using the Rocket Wing Carbon, or not carbon, which is right here.
This guy over here.
This is the Rocket Wing Carbon. This is Liam Corrali setup. It looks like it's his helmet. For freestyle, this is the board you want. The Rocket Wing 4.6 or 4.8, or 4.6 or 4.4, I mean. The 85 mast, and this is the prestigious 630 Escape.
630, wow.
It looks a little banged up.
Are you using that for freestyle?
This is the freestyle foil to use.
And then you use 85 mast, is that what you said?
85 mast, that's what.
Is that the sweet spot?
That's the sweet spot. That's what all the riders on tour, all the riders, every single freestyle rider is using an 85 mast.
85. That is a nice size. Like 82 is like almost a little too short,
Yeah.
and 85 gives you just a little.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And everyone is between 630 to 650 size foils for freestyle, for high-end freestyle. So this is perfect.
Any new foils? Is the Momentum still the latest foil, or?
I can show you the Momentum. It looks like it's right here. This is the high-end Downwind foil. This is what size? An 8/16. So the Momentum has an aspect ratio of 16.
That's
which is
quite a lot. Is it still easy to ride, or is
it's still quite maneuverable. It actually turns pretty well. For the size, you think it's just for going in straight lines, but it actually turns quite well. What's nice about this, it has good low end. The whole point of being super high aspect is you can get up in lighter conditions, smaller waves, smaller conditions.
I could probably even downwind on that thing.
Yeah, you could be downwinding on this 8/16.
8/16. Is that the biggest one?
No, it goes up to 9/16, I believe.
9/16.
9/16, and there's also, it goes down to 5/16.
Wow.
If I'm correct.
Very cool. So are you using that when you paddle up, or are you doing something else?
It depends on the conditions. I really love my Eagle X 700 for good conditions because it is slightly turnier than this. The paddle up is a little bit harder. Still an amazing foil.
Huh. Yeah, it looks pretty good, that foil in person, I will say.
There's a race coming up
next week or 2 weeks?
In next week or in 2 weeks.
I just interviewed Frankie about it, so I'm plugging it on here, and I just saw that maybe Edo might be coming.
Yeah, I know, and I'll probably be doing it.
Are you?
Oops, sorry.
Well, maybe you can win this one.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know if Edo's there, maybe not. Maybe I'll tell him not to come.
You better do some squats, because I know that guy's doing like marathon training every day or something.
Yeah. Depending on the conditions are for that event, we'll see what I'm on.
Yeah.
If it's super small, I would go on an 1100 7Cs. And if it's bigger, then maybe I'll take a Momentum or an Eagle X.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
A bigger swell, more wind.
What are you doing in surf waves? Are you doing the skate or are you doing
surfing? I'm riding the skate. There's the Skate V2. And actually, I've also been riding the Eagle X for surfing, the 700. It's surprisingly super turny. It depends on the conditions, but let's see if I can find an Eagle X here. These are the regular Eagles. This is an Eagle X 600, so a little smaller than I would normally ride. This is it right here.
It does look pretty surfy, actually.
Yeah,
it's got that like V shape to it, like a little bit.
Yeah, it has this right here, which makes the pop-up way easier.
Yeah, and then the leading edge is kind of angled. You know, the leading edge has got some turnability built in.
This is a Skate 950. This is the new one.
This is V2, or?
This is the V2, yes.
That looks like something I would ride.
This is the 950, so a little bigger than I'd go for.
Yeah.
This is the surf foil. I've just been experimenting with other foils to see how they perform.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes the people they don't realize that just because they made a foil for one thing doesn't mean it's not really good at something else.
Like the Eagle X is made for like downwinding. I mean, it's made to turn for downwinding, so obviously it's also going to turn in waves. I mean, the Skate is the best wave foil out there, and it's actually really good for winging too. Yesterday I went out to catch some bumps, and I was on a 750, even though the bumps weren't that big. So I'll ride a 750 Skate or 700 Eagle X.
Okay.
For waves.
Cool. So last question. You had some excellent success this summer on tour. You got a lot of 5th place finishes, 5th in the world, not in the youth group.
Yeah,
like this is just 5th in the world. But there's another rider at F1 who's pretty good.
Yeah.
Chris McDonald. Next year, are you going to overtake him? Like, what's the...
Planning on doing that, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe we'll interview him if we see him around, see what he says.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, thanks for showing us around.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
All right, so Luca said, I have to talk to Keahi about his new boards. Apparently, they're just really awesome. So you want to, hello, and nice to meet you, and let us know.
Sure. Stoked to actually have a little bit of wind this trip, but yeah, these are the new boards. Been working on with F1 for a couple of years now, actually. Super stoked on how it's come out. For like my style of riding, I've always liked something that has a little bit more speed and drive, because in a lot of the conditions I ride, it'll be pretty gusty, a little bit lighter wind sometimes, so having something that allows you to get through those light patches is really nice.
And this is for like kite surfing in the surf, or what's?
Yeah, so definitely more of a wave-oriented board. It still does strapless freestyle pretty well.
Oh.
But yeah, for me, this is the size that I ride. It's a 5'7", 25.2 liters. I don't mind having a little bit more volume myself, just because it allows me to get up and going in trickier conditions. But yeah, has that speed and that drive to carry you through the flat sections. Comes in a quad and a thruster. Personally, I actually like to ride a quad a lot. With all the foiling that I do, just having something that's a little bit faster, I've kind of become accustomed to that, and it works really well as a quad too. Comes in 2 different constructions. This is the Keahi Pro Surf, a little bit more of a surf construction, a little bit more flex, so you'll find it just gives you a bit more drive. Also comes in the regular construction. This is the Keahi Pro. Comes with inserts for anyone wanting to ride straps, and then it also has a foam insert underneath your front foot here, so if you want something that's a little bit of a softer ride, it's going to feel a little bit easier on your body if you're going through chop. Awesome. Even this one still feels really nice, a lot of drive, pretty nice weight overall, and yeah, I'd be stoked to hear what you guys think.
Very cool. Yeah, so yeah, if you guys are still doing the kite surfing thing, this looks like a pretty good option. And I think like the little bit more volume, like you said, is kind of smart, because A lot of times the conditions are not perfect.
Yeah.
So you just, and this board is still a very high performance board. So you can still rip on like a wave that's maybe not a perfect section or something.
Yeah, that's one thing I'd say. Like it is tailored a little bit more to bigger surf. I wanted to make sure I had something that when I go to places that are big barrels or a little bit more power, it doesn't feel too skatey, but still ride it a lot in smaller waves. So like Hawaii, summertime, we get waves that are a little more wind swelly, waist high, and with the quad and having that ability to go back and forth with the different fin setups, it's going to work all around. Like for me to have one board that can kind of do it all anywhere I go, you can't go wrong with this one.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for talking to us.
No worries.
All right, Luca won't let me leave the F1 tent. He's like really they would need to give him a raise because he's really getting all the product on camera. What's this over here?
This is F1's new Parawing. They frigate. It's actually the new colors that are coming out. Normally they're orange. These are the new special edition colors. Right now they're ranging from 2.5 to 4.7 meters. And this is actually the 5.5 and the 6.5, which will be the new wings.
I was flying it earlier. It felt pretty good. You think you can get it up right now if there's a gust?
Yeah, for sure. It's not windy enough.
Well,
it's super stable. There we go.
There we go. Hey, now it's flying.
It's actually the most stable wing, most stable Parawing I've tried. Super great low end. Even right now when it's super light wind, and you can still get up.
People don't know on land we have this little thing that the wind's messing up, but once you're out there, you could probably get going.
And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to keep you because that's the board I wanted to talk about.
Oh my God, this guy won't let me leave. He called this the banana board. I don't think that's the official name.
Well, when they come out, these are gonna be the special colors for, it's gonna be special edition colors, and then they will come out with different colors.
So why are you so excited about this?
That board is insane.
For what, Parawing or what?
For parawinging, pluming, this is the board you want. So this is the free surf, which is slightly more narrow and slightly longer than other boards in the free range. Yeah, let's take a look at this board. It's pretty sick. And actually the other free range, the other boards in the free range have even more in the front. This is the more surfy version. So for when there's wind, you want to catch some swell, you can easily catch some swell. The other free boards are a little bit bigger, more literage, a little bit more on the nose, a little longer, a little wider. So more beginner friendly, and they'll get up in lighter conditions.
Huh. All right, it does look pretty good. I like the shape. It looks pretty efficient. All right, I'm gonna leave now for real. Maybe we go take a GoPro out if it gets windy, and we can trade. We can throw it back and forth. You can throw me something. All right. Cheers.
All right. See ya.
Fill up my belly with food, drink, and I'm sitting in the car and you just want to fall asleep.
Yeah, this is like the most low-key going to downwind ever. Are we sure we're having a good time, guys?
Yes. Well, you know, trying. Crazy.
12 hours later. Foil's not too big. Wind's a little light at times, but alright, I could use a bigger foil, but I don't know where Jeff and Marie went. They were kind of hanging back. I don't have a harness hook, so I'm pretty much just going down straight downwind. Might wait here for them for a bit. All right, pretty fun downwinder. I got my gear back. Yeah, they were a little bit underpowered at first. I was fine on my, that VB board is so good, and even on the old 5 meter pinion and the 125, like it was pretty good. Absolute show. Once you get to the hatch and all that, I don't know why people, the only reason to wing there is because you want people to see you wing. Like, it's all right, but it's, there's a whole river, Now we're back here at the event site. It's still windy. I don't really feel like demoing any boards, so no one's like grabbed me and been like, hey Rob, you gotta demo this board and get it on video. So if you're not gonna grab me and ask me to come do something, I'm not gonna like beg you to demo your board. Hey, you guys probably remember Josh from the foil shop.
That's me.
Thanks for putting together. You put some stuff together for some of the guys who had lost gear in the fire, so that was awesome. So, and then you also have like some crazy flash sale at your shop right now. If someone wants a downwind board, what are you selling those things for? Like, I don't know if you can say online.
I can. So we've got a couple Nimitz boards from Unifoil. Brand new boards, comes with a bag for $900.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's a wild deal. They're almost gone. It's Friday, September 5th.
This will be out by Sunday, so.
We've only got a few left. So hit up the foil shop. You can call me or you can call Patrick or just Google map the foil shop in Seal Beach and our number's there. You can get a hold of us. Text.
Awesome. Did you make any orders? Anything that you specifically want to order for the shop after seeing it today?
I've always been really, this is kind of a weird one, but I've always been really impressed by the bags that Ride Engine makes. Like they just make great bags. Like
interesting.
So I'm ordering a bunch of them. Foil Drive has some new gear coming out that I'm really intrigued by, and I think is a great addition to anybody's quiver. The right tool for the right job, There's a resurgence of surf wings coming out. Code Foils has their Series X. Looks like they're going to be launching a surf wing.
I don't know if they want you to talk about that, but
take two. Code Foil is doing it. Hey, look. Let's start the hype train,
Yeah,
but lots of surf wings coming out. I think every brand's doing a great job. I'm not seeing a lot of bad gear out there.
No, there's a lot of good gear. All right, well, good seeing you, and I'll see you back in LA.
Cheers.
All right, I'm here with Ripper Extraordinaire Nathan Tarifa. At least that's your Instagram handle. I don't know your real name. What's going on, man?
We're presenting our new production wings. My favorite sizes are for sure from 2.5 to 4.
What wind speeds do you normally use today?
Like from 15 to 50 knots. Yeah, and Tarifa sometimes. Yeah, they're like super stable, like for jumping and stuff. They rotate super well. They're super nice and stable if you want to ride waves. Overall, super fun wing.
What do you like about this versus the wing drip or the wing DD?
The last model,
the last version.
I think you cannot compare. It's like so much better in like every aspect. It's so different in speed, like for freestyle, for jumping eye, for wave. Like in general, it's way better than the other model.
Yeah. So what tricks are you doing on this one now?
Like I don't know. I've been doing some double backs here in the hatch with it.
Really?
Double backs.
Yeah.
And so you prefer the boom all around for free riding and all that and freestyle?
Yeah, for sure. The boom, I like it way more because you just don't look at it like take here,
Well, you can do a back mob now, right?
Yeah, like back mob, palaus, and everything.
Without the boom, it's kind of tricky.
Yeah, without the boom, it's not possible.
It's a nice looking wing. The canopy looks tight.
Super durable.
Well, we'll hand it off to him. But Nathan, it was great meeting you. Love to watch your videos, and hopefully we'll get to see you doing some really crazy stuff later. Probably not today, but at least on the Instagram.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, so we handed the mic over to Ryan, LA Foiler. You guys know him. I know him. Yeah, Nathan said he was struggling because he has to think and switch it all to English.
Yeah, from Spanish.
From Spanish. Okay, I wasn't sure. I guess Tarifa. Okay.
He's from Tarifa. Yeah, he's super gnarly, and he's someone that's gone from like this tall to this tall and just like doing the craziest trick now. He's been super integral in designing this wing. Same with Otis Buckingham over on Maui, and of course Kai and Kane. Pretty much everyone on Maui is winging and using these things, and it's been long overdue for us to offer a new wing after the Wing Air, and this is like an entirely new beast. I think one of the best things about this is the way the canopy has been sewn together with the distribution of like the radial load across it. You can still get a lot of power and longevity out of Dacron still, as long as you sew it properly. And we went pretty minimal with the windows, but just enough so that you can see someone and prevent collisions. It's been really crowded at this event.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So they've definitely been being used. Of course, we have this carbon boom that we have here, and that's on all of these.
Talk about the luff handle. It looks pretty solid. Is that completely solid? Or, okay, it's got a little bit
it has
of
like
flex,
an internal structure, so it's just a bit stiffer, and especially when you're flagging out and wave riding, it's just a lot more control. It's not like it's just flapping around.
No, it's so important. If you don't have a stiff luff handle, I don't care how balanced the wing is, it's going to flip over.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah.
And at least you have the leverage too. If it's starting to catch a wingtip, you can always just kind of pull it up with your wrist.
Yeah, that looks perfect.
Yeah. Another big thing is we've always had really grunty wings, but just the way it's balanced, it's really ergonomic in terms of where your hands go to power up and then depower. And especially for the guys that are jumping, or even for me that I'm kind of just doing straight airs and not really spins, it just feels really easy and intuitive to jump. The other thing that I think is really important, and one of the things that people love the most about these wings, are the colors. When you're winging way out there and the wind dies or something happens, you really want to be seen.
Yeah.
And all of our wings have these fluoro colors. The options are this orange, and this olive green, and then a very bright fluoro green over there. So we've got about 3 options and sizes going from 2.0 up to 5.8.
Yeah, it looks like a real step up in wings. Like, I know I could ride that, and I could probably go throw some 720 attempts and stuff. Like, I can just tell just by looking at it that it's a step up from what you guys had before.
Definitely.
The luff handle is great. I would say that's a perfect surf freestyle wing. That's what you need. Durable. You don't need some crazy materials, like, unless you're trying to, unless you're just a rich doctor who has too much money to spend. Awesome. I see on the ground you got a couple of new things over here. You know, all of your foils are new, period, because they debuted last year at AWSI. So we did a huge expo on that last year. People are loving them.
Yeah.
But now you have a couple of protos here for the beginners, right?
Yeah. Of course, Kane DeWild, our designer, has always been really focused on trying to design for specific characteristics. And, you know, with the Nomad and the Instinct foils and all that, we were going for specific characteristics. So with the Instinct, that's kind of our intermediate beginner foil. It's just really simple. It doesn't have any of that radical trailing edge rear loaded camber. It's just flat. And then our biggest size on that was a 1450. And a lot of beginners in places with light wind or even with beginner e-foiling, we really wanted something that's even bigger in the 2000 plus range. And so Kane has some protos and has been working on this. And the first edition has been pretty good.
It looks excellent for a beginner. And I love that. Look at the wing tips. They're kind of soft. They're not turned down like the Slingshot Infinity, but that is a perfect beginner foil.
Yep. And so the idea behind this is just a really pitch stable front wing, something that doesn't just like pitch up, something that just really rides up smoothly and is predictable. And when we put it on an e-foil mast or beginner wingers or even paddling up, it's just something like
Oh, you can paddle that up?
Well, we had it on the e-foil mast with the foil drive with the pod, and someone hopped on like this board, literally this setup right here, grabbed the paddle and paddled it up with no motor on.
That's crazy.
With the drag of the pod and everything. So
that's hilarious.
Could be a pretty good first time sup foil for learning how to do flat water paddle ups and stuff like that. But this is just a proto right now. I'm not sure how much we're going to change, but what I love about it is, you know, we have this bigger tail we're working on for beginners, but we've even put the tinier tails like the 155 Nomad and all that, and it handles it. Generally, bigger foils don't like really small tails because it's just a mismatch, but this thing is so pitch stable that you can put anything behind it. And even I'm like having lots of fun just doing circles and playing, sitting down on it. It's just so easy and predictable that it's something I would actually want to take home and ride.
I love that shape, and honestly, if someone was going to ask me what beginner setup to buy right now, I would say that, and I've never even tried it, but just looking at it.
You will try it. I think one of the funniest things was seeing Kane go out on it with a sinker board, like a 22 liter, and a tiny wing, and this thing has so much easy lift that he's able to get up in light wind with the sinker just from the foil planing, and then you can do like little slides and stuff like that on the surface, and it just re-engages so easily that it's like you're riding a like a board within a board. It's just a trip.
It looks like a Infinity 99 for the modern age. Like it looks like, because I still think that was a good foil, and that looks like just like a classy version of it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
And then you wanted to talk about one board, right?
Yeah. So I think the biggest, the thing that everyone's most excited about this year is the Super K2, which is version 2 of the Super K. The Super K came out last year, and normally we kind of spend a couple years before we put out something new, but there was so much R&D and so much demand on Maui because of parawinging, winging, and just like the mid-length craze, and also having a broader size range that we came out with this one. And this goes from 30 liters up to, I think, 120. This is the second largest size, the 110. This has literally been the go-to board for literally everything I do.
Really?
So I have the 40 and the 65 liter. For parawinging, I'm using the 65 mostly, and then I'll wing on it. It's kind of my light wind setup. And I also foil drive it, but I also love the 40 for prone foiling. I'll use my foil drive for it. That's what I compete on with the foil drive stuff. What we've done with it was try to make it good for everything. So we didn't put a Jinsu step in this version, again, so it'd be really easy to take the foil drive on and off. We built windows into it for foil drive connectivity. For parawinging, we have, and just for riding in general, this volume in the nose, we kind of moved it in an area where when you're kneeling and starting, or your stink bug starting, you're never really dipping the nose. Even on touchdowns, the way this cuts through the water is it kind of just punches through chop like a bullet. A lot of the big wave guns that Kai was riding has a similar concept, and we found that it works really well at high speeds and even starting for winging or just getting going. And the other big emphasis that Kane and Keith and Adam really put into this was the aerodynamics. So on the last Super K, we tried to make a smaller board ride bigger so you could size down on volume and for it to be able to ride, but we went the opposite direction now. So we wanted to make a 70 liter board feel like a 60 liter board, and vice versa. We wanted a 40 liter board to feel like a 30 liter board. And so the aerodynamics, the volume of the balance, like the balance volume where everything is, where you're standing, all of these boards feel way smaller in the air, have less windage than anything we've made before. It's pretty crazy to see the feedback and how everyone's been liking this board. This is one of the things I'm most excited about.
It all looks great, and I think if anyone wants to know more about your foils, your higher end foils, just go to watch the video from last year, because we had a really good thing on it, and those are still cutting edge foils. So
sick. Thank you, Rob.
All right, good seeing you.
Appreciate it, man. You too.
All right, let's see if we can test a couple of more things. I'd really like to try that KT beginner foil. All right, Ryan gave me a 3-second lesson on foil drive. Someone else over there gave me a lesson. Maria? Julia. It was maybe a better lesson. She told me to keep the controller off until you're on the board and all that. I don't know how big this board, 110 KT board, and it's got the Proto beginner foil on it. So we'll see how this goes. I've never e-foiled before, so I don't think this is going to go great, but we'll see.
The power button is on the left. You hold that down, and then the thing turns on, and it's locked. And then you have to hold that top button for 5 seconds. If you want to check how much battery you have, you press the power button 4 times. That's about it. And you just pull the trigger to go.
Interesting. There's going to be some technique required. It's not like the biggest board in the world, so we'll try again. All right, we're foiling, I guess. I guess we figured this out, sort of. Oh man, this foil is very easy to ride. Yeah, we're on a e-foil. I don't know what we're doing, but we figured it out in 2 goes. That's pretty fast. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Foil feels great. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's that. It works. Whoa. Two tries we got up, so it works. Motor back in. Who's that over there? It's pretty nice to not have to paddle in. Just press this motor. You're good to go. That looks like a lot of work. I'm just pressing a button and I go. It's great. I agree.
Looks like Core has a regular halo now with Dacron and a boom. That could be a really nice option for freestyle or surf freestyle that doesn't break the bank. I don't love that the front handle is kind of soft. I wish they would just put a hard handle on there. But yeah, could be a nice freestyle wing.
So, I was going to talk you through our new titanium fuselage setup and the front wings and rear wings and a few details about that. So this is a new fuselage system, and this is all CNC cut titanium, and this little plate on the top here is stainless steel. And then we also have a cover plate on the bottom, so your screws are underneath this cover plate. If you undo this, that's the screw that secures it in there, and you screw it down, then you put that back on again. And generally, most people leave that on the end of their mast. That becomes an extension of their mast and they just don't take it off. We have a really nice cover that goes on there. It's got a hole for the mast, so that can be on the end of the mast. If the mast falls over and clunks the concrete, it doesn't get any dents or anything on it. How it joins together, it's kind of a little bit heavy, but when you see it all put together, it comes out pretty nicely. That's quite a complex shape on the end of there, and that fits in the end of that mast there. So that goes on like that, and we've got two grub screws that go in there, and when these get to the end, they expand that plate, so that plate actually opens up to hold it together. You basically wind those in just finger tight to start with, and once you've got them finger tight, put the key in and give about a quarter turn. That's all you need. But once that's on, that wing is part of that fuselage. It's absolutely rigid connection. All of the tempos, they're 16 aspect ratio, which is pretty thin and narrow and very, very thin this way. This has taken a year to develop this wing, and one of the things that's been really difficult is to get this to be strong enough so it doesn't break, because you've got very, very little in there. There's no room for core in there. It's only uni pre-preg ultra high modulus carbon holding that together. The wing itself, like if you try and bend that, I can barely bend that wing. It's really, really stiff. That's an 890, which is the smallest in the tempo, and the area is 495. The largest one is 1090, I think it's 745 in area, all 16 aspect ratio. Then your rear wings, similar system, but it's only got one key. So that just slips on and you put your key in here. This is a 25, so it's, you know, relatively small, skinny rear, and that's ultra high modulus carbon as well. So you tighten that up and give it a nip, and again it's all part of the same thing. It's absolutely locked in. I'm going to feel the weight of that now. It's not too bad. Very, very rigid setup put together. On a close-up here, these are, so those are just done up finger tight. You can see when I go onto here, that plate expands on the end of here. And then when you undo it, it has a spring in here which pulls it back down again. So it's easy to get the wing off again because this shrinks down, so that there's a slight clearance and you can pull it off.
Wow. And I'm assuming that the main advantage of this is now you have basically zero drag on the whole system.
It's a whole lot less. Like when you're dealing with a 16 aspect wing like this, You can't have a thick carbon fuselage. This is a very, very thin, small wing, and you can't have a great big fat fuselage. It's just not going to work. We're also working on a mast for like a high performance setup for downwinding as well.
Perfect.
Everything's got to be low drag with this sort of setup. You can't just do a wing and expect the whole thing to work. You have to have a more sleek fuselage and everything. You can see there's very little drag on the whole unit.
I don't see any drag, honestly. That's pretty cool.
In the recent racing we had in Hawaii, there was 4 races, and in most of those races there was 9 out of the top 20 riding this setup.
It might be less drag than a Mike's Lab setup. I don't know. We have to compare.
It's pretty clean. It's pretty clean.
What's the difference with the Tempo versus the Fireball? Is it less camber, more high end, or?
It's the same camber. It's actually the same wing in a lot of ways. They're all around 13 aspect ratio. They go higher aspect as they go bigger. But this one here, because it's 16 aspect, it's relatively narrow. And you can imagine, have I got a fuselage? This is a different fuselage, but you can kind of get an idea from that. That's a black fuselage. Where would I stick that exactly?
Oh.
It becomes, you know, something you can't really fit in there anymore. Really important point that sort of brings up, and that is masts. So another new thing we've got this year is this mast here. This is it's called a fatty, and it's much bigger cord, and it's also thicker. It's 18.1 mils thick. The doodad is also 18.1 mils thick, so it's much thicker doodad. The doodad actually goes in a lot further, so instead of 28 mils, it goes in 35 mils. And we've separated the bolts as far as we possibly can to give it the rigidity for pumping. So this mast here was specifically designed to use, this is a new, this is a 1750 dock start pump wing. Again, it's pretty thin. It's not very thick. That wing there, you can't just use that on any old mast. So we've been mucking with this for quite a few years. Now that we've got the fatty mast, we're actually able to make wings of that span and even bigger. So it was designed really to make that work, but I think the best application for this is going to be bigger guys riding bigger wings. It will give a level of stability that, you know, they've never encountered before. Just some numbers on stiffness. If we look at the aluminium and then go through the different masts, how we test a mast is we bolt it and we put 25 kg load on the end and bend it over, and we measure how much it moves. From memory, the aluminium is 38 mil, the power carbon's 29 mil, the power carbon high modulus 22 mil, the ultra is around 19. This is 11.7 mils.
Wow.
So it's radically stiff, and it gets that from its thickness. It's actually built of normal modulus carbon, so it's actually relatively inexpensive. The only deal is you do need to get a black fuse of the appropriate length for you to fit onto that.
So it's a special new black fuse.
Yep, it's a fatty fuse with a fatty hole on it.
You guys are really doing some crazy stuff this year.
You should see the foil drive board. What we've done for this is we've done the integrated mast, and we sort of started working on an integrated mast last year, but when you do this integrated part and you do the cavity in the back of it, you actually lose a lot of stiffness to your mast. So it's taken, again, about a year to get this production ready, and we've increased the cord here a lot and also the thickness a lot so that it's strong enough. When you're trying to make something stiff, the carbon that runs all the way through is what gives it its bending strength. Carbon that goes like this doesn't do an awful lot for strength, it just moves. You've got to move this back as far as you can to get the fibers to run through, make it stiff and strong through there. This mast is 800 mils long, and it comes in 2 constructions. It has an ultra and also a normal high modulus. The base plate is designed to fit perfectly into this pocket trench board. This board is CNC cut PVC foam. It's a hybrid foam, so it's lower density on the bottom, higher density on the deck. This cover plate is actually built separately and then bonded and it's built as part of it. So you do your session, the battery's dead, you want to change it over, you undo these 4 bolts just a little bit and you slide that back and it just lifts out. You dry it all off, change your battery, put it all back together again.
That's beautiful.
Once you've done that, you slide it back in, nip your bolts up, you're ready to go. So it's a very quick and easy way to do it. A lot of the trench boards, you know, they're leaving 25 mils either side, so you can open the buckle. And then the trench, the battery is here, but they're actually running the trench right up to here, so that you can get your nose cone off and your battery out and change it over. So you end up with a trench that is removing a huge chunk of the bottom of the board, which loses lift for takeoff. So this one feels a lot smoother for takeoff, and this has been out, we've got one here and one at the foil drive booth that's been out all weekend, and people are amazed with how that is. We've also changed, so you can feel the weight of the board. It's pretty light. This is all fiberglass through here. This is all fiberglass through here and through here for your signal. So whether you're left or right-handed, it gets a really good signal.
Smart.
Dom's been using it with no foam in it, and he's had the best signal he's ever had on any board with that. The other thing we've done is that's an original type of insert, and I don't really think it's quite strong enough, so we've made a bigger system for that. The track is bigger, chunkier, and it's actually got room for bigger threads in there. The slider is sort of one piece, so you don't have to jiggle around to line your nuts up. You just put it in, slide it forward, and it's easy. This is an earlier one. We're actually modifying it slightly, and we're going to have M8, M7 and M6 in there, so that caters for the current Gen 1 or Gen 2 and the new system that's coming, and other brands of foils as well.
Can you ride the board without the foil drive in it, or it has to have the module in it?
There's no reason you could. You'd obviously be a bit shorter,
right?
But there's no reason you couldn't use it. You know, you'd have the mast plate sitting down there. So
yeah, just because I know some people, you know, they don't want to buy two boards, but maybe I don't know if there's an insert that you could put in that, you know, was like, I don't know.
If you put a spacer block in there,
yeah,
you could. Yeah. You could make a spacer block so that it sits up on top of that. You could definitely do that.
It might be an interesting accessory to offer, so people could just.
Thought of that. That might actually be quite useful.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this, and this is a 40-litre one, and it's 1500 long, which is 4'11", 18.5 inches wide, or something like that. We're going to do one smaller and two large in this. This is the first one we did.
It's beautiful. I love the shape too. It's really good shape.
So the rocker, I think a lot of the trench boards I've seen down there look ironing board flat. And the reason they've got that is because there's so much of it's cut away, it's losing the lift. So with this covered trench, it means you can actually run a more sensible shaped board. You're not, you know, changing the shape of your board because of the trench being in there.
Yeah, excellent.
I think that's the most of the new stuff. I did sort of touch on the dock start wing, the 1750 wing.
Yeah, that's wild.
We also have they're fireballs. We also do a 1500 fireball. This one here. They've got pretty fancy bags, which make it kind of hard to get the covers off, especially when it's got the rubbers and everything on it. That's a 1500 fireball. This wing here, there's a guy, Nico Itan, in Switzerland, and he's just set 3 new world records on this. He has done a world record where he just dock started and pumped, and he did I think 4 hours 20 minutes without stopping. But he's got a lot of the guys. It's getting more and more hard to extend that, because you know you could ride for 4 hours and catch a bit of weed, and that's the end of your record attempt. So they've got more into doing a 1 hour pump and seeing how far they can go. So it's your average speed for 1 hour. And he's pumped this just recently for a world record of 20.12 kilometers an hour average speed for 1 hour.
You know, I just tried the Fireball 1000. First time I've tried the Fireball, I tried it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I was pretty blown away by how much glide and pump I was getting. It actually is pretty small. It's only like 700 square centimeters.
So that's a good example to do it. Like the Art V2 999 is 1024. The Fireball 1000 is 772. The Tempo 1020 is 650. So you've got 3 different areas there: 1024, 772 and 650. Yet the common factor is they're all 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter wide.
Right.
I've said for quite a few years that a span is a more useful way of measuring, and area is a nonsense. with the higher aspect stuff, it's becoming entirely obvious that it's a waste of time using area. Really doesn't make sense. But the 1020, honestly, you'd find it no harder to get going than the 772 Fireball that you were riding.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought there'd be a little bit more low end, just based off of the span.
Yep.
But once I got it up, it was easy to get up, but once I got it up, it needed some speed. It wanted to stay speed. But I was on those, the channel swell out there, which is not that good. I could pump up and across. it blew my mind. How good it was.
The tempo is kind of the next step on from that. It's kind of like a Fireball with a handbrake.
Yeah, but I think as a bigger rider, I would probably go 1070 or something.
Yeah, there's a 1090 in the tempo, which would give you that. That 1750 that I was showing you, well, this one is 17 aspect ratio, and the 1750 is 20.12 aspect ratio. As you go bigger span to get your glide, you also add drag, so you have to remove that drag, and to do that you have to make them more high aspect. It becomes way more challenging to actually get the wing to hold together stiffness wise. That's over 20 aspect ratio. That's another thing, like in the past we've talked about medium aspect or high aspect, and there's a perfectly good number that you can use. It's time to start using that number to refer to a wing.
Yeah,
I think.
Some really interesting stuff, Adrian, honestly. And then we didn't really even talk about it. You do have an intermediate setup for people that they can use their old shims and their old tails, right, on the new fuse system, right? I want people to make sure that they know that.
So that's the titanium setup, and this is just an aluminium piece that just fits on the back, and then you can put all of your old rears on there.
So it's not obsolete, or if you're a big rider and you like to shim front foot, you can still do it.
You can still play with that. Yeah. You can't, you can only fit on the front, you can only fit the tempo wings. We're working on some wingfoil race wings that are quite close. There will be more wings that fit on this going forward, so this will be the next thing that we use.
Put them all on it.
But it's not for everything. Like, it is designed for higher aspect wings, so there's kind of no point in putting, say, the PNG 1200 would be unsuitable on there. You know, it's suitable for high aspect wings around 1100 or less area span.
And speaking of the PNG, people are raving. I saw it in person. The PNG 1300 V2, is that right?
Yep.
That people are raving about that.
Yeah, well, it was the first one we came out with, and like we had our 1300 V1 a million years ago. That was a great wing for people learning to downwind. We wanted to have a wing that replaced that. That's what the 1300 V2 was. We've also done the 1400 V2, and that is also for people learning to downwind that are a little bit heavier. The 1200 is quite a different wing, and the 1200 is more like a replacement for the old 1150. It's a great wing that's got a lot of area for instant acceleration when you jump off the dock.
Oh, interesting. Really good stuff, Adrian. Really good stuff.
Yep. Oh, one other thing I thought of there. Keep forgetting there's a few new things always.
No, you have a lot of new things this year. I'm kind of
This is a new old fuse. So we had our original fuse many years ago. We've referred to fuses after that as plus 60 or plus whatever. This is the old fuse, but it's now plus 20, so it's a little bit further forward than the original, but it's been thickened up, so it's nice and strong. It also has, maybe I can get this off. Inside of here, they all come Tef gelled ready to go, so you just put your wing on and go. But inside there's a titanium insert just there, so it's not a helicoil, it's an insert, so that gets wound in, and then it's got two pins that punch down and lock it in place. That's a lot stronger for the two front M6 screws. They're a little bit fragile, and if someone cross threads them, they can, get it stuck a bit, so it makes that a lot more solid. The original fuselage, the beauty of that is that it's very well suited for people that are learning. It's got more early lift, but as you go along, that lift carries on and gets harder and harder to hold down. The advanced fuselage is a better fuselage if you know what you're doing, but this is great for people learning. They just start moving along and it lifts them beautifully out of the water. We've also added some new rear wings. We've had our progressives for quite a while now. We've got our range of surf skinnies. They're not all there at the moment. Someone's taken a few. we have the new Surf Skinnies. There's a 280, a 300, and there's a 320 missing. These are around 45, so they're 43, 45, 48, and 280, 300, and the missing 320. Kind of narrower span surf wings.
Quite a bit of anhedral on them.
Yeah, it's actually the same as the Skinnies, but it's concentrated over a narrower distance, so they look a little more turned down.
Okay.
But really good for surf wings.
Awesome. You've given us a lot to digest.
A bit of food for thought there.
You guys have really outdone yourself this year, Adrian. I'm pretty impressed.
Cheers. You should have a chat to Frank on the boards. Have you seen? We've got new dart and mini dart boards. Really.
All right.
Cheers. Thank you.
Axis also has a whole line of new boards. They have these darts and the mini darts. I did try the mini dart 90, and it is a fairly challenging board. So I would not get that unless you really want the most efficient board and you're good with you're very advanced on that kind of board. Obviously, if you're downwinding, the dart is what you want. But you know, for winging, if you go with that mini dart, just be aware that that's going to be it's going to require some technique to get started. And then your other option would be I think it's called the Blast or something. And this is probably more what I would get. It's still a hybridish shape, but it's a little bit more user-friendly in my opinion. I didn't try it, but I can just tell by looking at it, it's going to be a lot more user-friendly. And it's still going to get you up really fast because look at it's still hybrid shape. Duotone has come up with this waist belt. It runs a cord through this fish shape up to the prop. Alright, I'm here with Ava Segersten. Is that how you say that?
Segersten, yeah.
Absolutely ripping the big jumps, right?
Thank you.
Probably some of the highest jumps out of any of the women riders. Is that maybe even of the guy riders, to be honest?
Well, trying to get up in the air. We'll see how high we go. Hit a gust, good kicker. You go up, up, up.
Awesome. What are you working on right now?
I might be sending some back mobs pretty soon here.
Oh, really?
I'm working on Palaus, yeah.
You got the Palaus. I saw you also do the foil slide to the Flocka.
Yes, yes. That one's really fun.
I've been trying to do it where there's no touchdown in between.
Oh,
but I have not had any success yet. But
I have not tried that, but I might have to give that one a go as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks for talking to us, and people should definitely check out your Insta. You're an absolute crusher.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, I'm here with Luke from Foil Life Podcast. He's doing some amazing videos. He did them last year. I know they're really good. I watched them last year. I'm pretty much done for the day. So, Luke, where can they find your stuff? Because I think, and you can talk about the videos you have, because I think it's some of the ones that I didn't get.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thanks for supporting our channels. There's a lot of work that goes into showing up to events and putting these kind of videos together. So thanks to everybody for watching and supporting us. This year, we got some pretty exciting ones. We got Cabrinha, obviously, their new Mike's Lab. That's going to be coming out soon. We were able to talk to Ride Edge and Gary there, as always, an amazing speaker. He has awesome products that are coming out. Mystic and North as well, Mike and Matt. We talked to the team over at Naish, and we got a reel coming out with Robbie himself. First time I was able to meet Robbie. It was super fun.
I did a video of him from afar, but I was too nervous to go say hi.
Yeah, I went and said hi because I was in Maui in February, and I saw him ride Ho'okipa on a pretty big day. And I was just, it's cool to see him ride. It was pretty sensational. So we have some videos coming out. We've just been putting out some reels. But yeah, make sure to check us out. And
definitely go over there for North, Naish, and
Mystic, Cabrinha, Ride Engine. Yeah. We just finished up a really cool one with Appletree as well. Vigor over there. He's got some pretty cool new tech that's coming out and just wants feedback and wants people to take a look at and send him some kind of questions and to see whether or not this new tech that he's developing is going to be the same thing as Steve Meyer did with the skinny masks from SDM to RDM. We're very curious as to see what's going to happen there. Obviously, I just finished recording a video with the awesome team here at KT in Maui. Always great to talk to these guys. They're such at the forefront for being able to get on the water so much and having such an interconnected team. So I really do hope that you guys enjoy that video as well. But thanks, man.
Awesome. Well, maybe let's get on. I'm going to get on the water maybe and ride a little bit, all right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Good seeing you again.
All right, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.